forgotten to actually hit live on the YouTube play, so they didn't hear any of our pre-show yaps up until now. Don't worry about that,
it looks
YouTube.
like it's getting a movie adaptation on October 2nd is when it releases.
What is? What the fuck?
The movie Verity, which I think is an adaptation of a Colleen Hoover book.
I've never heard of any of this in my entire life until I started seeing Lambda Delta. I saw specifically a TikTok of someone saying, I'm just gonna skip. I was told, check out Umineko for the Verity ladies. Skip episode 1, and then I can get to the Verity ladies quicker. I'm like, I don't understand what any of this is. Why are the kids skipping? Why are the kids skipping Umineko episodes? Why are we doing Homestuck Troll? Like, what is
Umineko episodes? Come on, this
Straight
is
to
ridiculous.
Act 5.
Okay, so for those of you listening on YouTube who I just remembered to hit go live on that side, it's a good thing I realized that now as opposed to when we started yapping. Other pre-show yaps that we did, I talked about playing Metroid 2 in the future, realizing I have a Wii which can play GameCube games in the future. I already bought a physical GameCube, so I guess it doesn't matter at that point. But I do have a Wii, which means we can open up our options to Wii games as well. Technically, I can.
Finally, you can play GoldenEye.
Finally,
Oh my
Pokemon
God.
Rumble, the game designed for psychopaths.
Oh wow!
Right, Andy?
I don't.
Me too.
Sorry, I'm reading the summary of the book Verity, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like Lambda at all. I don't see.
I don't know if this has anything to do with the Verity thing I'm talking about. Appears to be a yellow, smiling, creepy face. I don't know if that's related to a book at all.
Isn't that Pac-Man?
There's a psychological thriller called Verity, but I'm seeing that now, but I don't think that's what I keep seeing online. I could be wrong though. I don't know what this is though. Verity meme. What is Verity? The viral Minecraft horror ARG web series, and it's it's Verity memes explained. What the fuck?
Jeff, I don't think we need to go this way.
I'm just wondering why Lambda Delta is next to all this shit. Why are they calling her the Verity lady?
Because she has yellow hair and a big smile, I guess. I don't fucking know.
What did Lambda do?
I mean, a lot.
She has the power of candy trap, okay? She needs to be stopped.
I also apologize in advance. The cat is extra needy today, so I will try to stay on mute, but if she meows while I'm talking, there's not much I can do about that.
She just wants to yap about Death Note. What's the big deal?
And I'll apologize in advance because I'm extra pissed off today.
Yeah, well.
Hey.
Are you pissed off about Death Note, or?
No, it's not. Honestly, Death Note's more so.
I sure am.
Alright, well, let me make sure I have my copies of,
Wait, before we leave pre-show, you should show the the video I made.
The what?
The video I made.
It's gonna be too much effort for me to pull it up on stream right now, okay? We're not doing it. But I did see it, though. I did see it.
It's very good.
If you are listening to this and you would like to see this video, it is in the book club chat, in the main chat. If you scroll up, I will also pin it for you. There you go. If you are listening to this and would like to know what video we're talking about, you can join discord.wolfborg.com and you can see in the latest pinned message there for the meme that Andy has created of the weird-eyed fucking cat who apparently is L.
It's also up on TikTok if you want to follow my TikTok Nyan Bacon.
Wow. Is this where I can learn about Verity Lambda? Is this where I can go to learn about Verity?
That was my feed today. Hold on, let me think.
Okay. You think. Considering.
Okay. All got reincarnated as a cat.
I mean, it happens. Happens to the best of us.
Honestly, I could believe it.
Hold on, real quick as well. I've just noticed Stella with the raid. Thank you so much, Stella. Let me give her the shout out before we officially get started with.
Hi, Stella. Hi. Hi, Stella. Hello. Hi, Stella. Hello. Hi.
How was stream? What were y'all up to? I see it says game dev/software dev. Did you build the games, all of them, and/or softwares? Did you make everything? Did you fix everything?
Did you make Metroid Prime Pinball?
Did you make that? That's impressive, Stella.
Okay. So I have had multiple TikToks today that are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle edits, Ninjago edits for some reason. Oh wait, the new Ninjago trailer
Why
came
are
out.
we
No, that one
listening
makes
to
sense.
this?
Never mind.
There was an Ninjago trailer for the new 2D series.
And a
What the
lot of
fuck?
Sonic for some reason.
Well, it's like he's always up to no good.
Hey, he's just spinning around, rolling around at the speed of sound.
Let me clarify. Almost every single Sonic video that I had was just shadow bullying Tails. That was the whole multiple videos.
Oh, that's
He
good.
deserves it.
I love when he's just
He deserves it.
I
he
mean,
just
that's like
looks
a
like that
5-year-old.
child.
Anyway, I don't have any of this Verity shit that you're talking about. I got prime quality.
Where's all your
Sonic and
Umineko
Ninjago
TikTok
content.
memes, huh? Where's all that shit?
I have not managed to find an Umineko niche,
That's
unfortunately. I
because
don't.
you're
What
watching
do you
Teenage
mean?
Mutant Ninja
Yeah, what the
Turtle
fuck?
Ninjago edits.
Like, I'm seeing this shit. I put it in the book club chat. I'm seeing this shit. And what was the other one I saw earlier? It was somewhere. I don't know anything about this shit.
Okay, Grandpa.
That's why I was asking! You act like you know. You don't know either, Grandma. Get the fuck out of here. Okay,
Grandma Ari at it again.
I'm out here trying to be hip with the kids, alright? I'm trying to understand their
Like
culture here.
that fucking Smile movie.
Right?
I don't know. Alright, are we ready to go? Everybody's here. We're all ready to go. We've all read we've read all of Death Notes. We can talk about it. Okay, let's do that. Welcome everybody to another exciting episode of the Anime Book Club here on YouTube, Twitch, all at the same time, and eventually Spotify. We're here to discuss the finale of Death Note, the manga. But before we get into that, let's introduce our guest that we have here today. In order, as I see on Discord, we have Apple Tech. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Aztec, and I like bad media, which I haven't consumed lately.
You just did.
Well, yeah. But
Damn.
we have 2 hours to talk about
Damn.
Ari, you're showing your hand.
Ari, you're bleeding.
that. Yeah, I got no recommendations this week.
All right. Great to hear. Thanks. It's good
Definitely really took it out of you.
It's good to have you back, Aztec. Thank you so much. Next up, Ari, Rimia How Heart. Introduce yourself.
How, I'm Iremia. I like shonen shit. This week I have to recommend. This week has been a terrible week. I've been working very hard on my Steam Festival, which is Tuesday, called the Fall in Love Visual Novel Festival, where it has 200 something romance themed visual novels of all types.
Holy
It'll be Tuesday on Steam.
Tuesday.
God be willing.
Yeah.
So that is what I've been working on. And because I've been stressed with that, I started the next book that I got at Kinokuniya, The Little Sparrow Murders by Seishi Yokomizo. It's been sitting on my nightstand since I got back from California. I was just like, I've been saving it, and finally I cracked it open. It is one of his novels of following Kosuke Kindaichi, who is his famous detective. And he's like, I don't know what it is, but like, just the way he writes these things, they're just very, I don't know, like, I mean, it is kind of formulaic, but it's a very calming formula to me. So, like, I'll just be able to read it and not even look at the page count, you know? I'm just reading. I'm just like, all right, what is Kindaichi up to now? Let's follow him. And this one's been pretty good so far. I'm about 80 pages into it. Yeah. I recommend Seishi Yokomizo, which I've done before, but I'll do it again. Yeah.
All right. It's allowed. You're allowed to. Thank you so much for that. And also, we have a shout out from Stella in chat saying, shameless plug,
Wow.
I'm also streaming for the festival. This is what Stella said.
Woo!
Intending to be for a text-to-speech, but unfortunately, I don't have any redeems that do sounds during book club. But I've read it out loud for you. So it's basically the same thing as text-to-speech. You know, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, that is a text-to-speech.
Yeah, I spoke. I speech it. And then Stella said, I mostly want to borrow bully Ari. It's okay. That's all right. That's acceptable.
Wow.
All
We
right.
enjoy bullying Ari here.
Well, thank you so much
Wow.
for that, Ari. Next up, Lan Yagami. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Shadow. I don't have anything to recommend. I've been stuck on this shitty challenge run.
Okay. Was there anything else? You sound like you
No,
had
that's
more
it.
to say. Okay, I did. It
No.
sounded like you had more to say, but all right. Thank you so much for that, then, Shadow. You don't have any recommendations or anti-recommendations? Okay.
Actually, an anti-recommendation. GX Spirit Color again. I know, very original Shadow. I
Hey,
understand
well-
the game more now. It makes less sense.
Sure, we'll take it. Fuck it. Don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! GX
It's
Spirit
Death
Color.
Note.
don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Spirit Color. Don't worry about it. Next up, Nyagami Bacon. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Yagami Bacon, or Nyan Bacon, or you may hear me referred to as Andy. All are fine. I use he, they pronouns, please, no she, her. I don't like it. And I recommend following the Anime Book Club Spotify podcast so that it'll pressure
Whoa.
Chap into uploading the episode sooner so I can send it to my coworkers without breaking our no YouTube policy.
You know what? That's true, actually. I have been forgetting to
That's a
update it as much. Anytime I get some sort of alert from Spotify saying people are actually listening to this or people are actually commenting on this shit, it reminds me, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do that, and then I do it. So
I re-listened to, I think, the second episode of the Oron book club to help get through a workday, and it was pretty fun. So yeah, it's a fun listen. Obviously, it's also fun being here, but you guys should go follow that.
yeah, right now all of the Oran Host Club book club episodes and all of the Higurashi episodes are on there. I'll probably upload all of Death Note next, and then I think I was already working on the series that we did before Oran. I was gonna work backwards afterwards, finish all the episodes for a series and upload them all at once, and then I think I got halfway through one of them, something like that. I'll finish it. I'll get it done. But yeah, go check that out if you're interested. I don't have a working link for that, so I can't just say spotify.bookclub.com or whatever. But you can go to Spotify and search up Anime Book Club, and then look for the cover that's a torn up manga volume of Girls in Panzer, and that's us. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for that, Andy. Next up, me, Ryuzaki Borg, aka Chaplin, aka the best anime book close ever of all time. That's just a fact. Jot that down. I would recommend. Well, I saw a movie this week called Mutiny, starring Jason Statham, and we went to see it because we're like, it's a cool new Jason Statham movie. But he makes I don't know, 4 of these, 5 of these every year. They're just his own little action movies that we'll go check out because fuck it, why not? And then I won't remember it a week later, but they're not terrible movies. They're just movies I'm not gonna remember a week later. So I don't know. I guess is all right. Is pretty cool. I'm more excited for Prime Time, the Robin Pattinson playing. Did I say Robin? Robert
Chris
Pattinson
Hansen.
playing Chris Hansen movie. I'm very that looks cool. So I'm excited for that. I also finished the second playthrough of Drakengard 2. Would not recommend Drakengard 2 still. Working on playthrough number 3, and then I'm fucking done with that shit. And then I can move on to Drakengard 3 to get the other 2 endings. So
My condolences.
I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on it. But I'm excited because once I'm done with that, I get to play Drakengard 3, which everybody tells me is the good one. That's what they say.
You're a stronger man than me. I'd have just looked this crap up on YouTube.
Everybody on the subreddit also did, apparently. So I was like, okay, well...
Well, that's because Chap isn't a coward.
Listen, I'm working on it. I'm going to 100% it, and then nobody can say that I backed out or whatever, okay? I'm pushing through. I'm going to get it all. It will not be worth it in the end. Nobody's really going to care or give me a medal for it, but listen, I'm going to do it, all right? Anyways, that's all for me. Next up, thrice
before achievements, damn.
Next up, thrice misspelled, hashtag not dead yet, middle finger emoji. Introduce yourself.
Howdy, it's Thrice, aka Mike. She, they. My recommendation for this week is Perfect Crown. even though Hulu seems determined to not let me watch it. But what I have been able to watch, I've enjoyed. So, yeah.
All right. Go check that out if you were interested in that. Thank you so much for that. And next up, Violite is a misogynist. Introduce your interesting name change for the last week.
Right. I've
That's
decided
true.
I'm a misogynist now.
Oh, okay.
Team
Like
Light?
the
Well,
and
with
like
Light
the
gone.
creator and Light and Nier and everybody in the manga. I hate Misa. Very, very sad development in my
Oh.
worldview.
Oh, I see.
No, my name's
Oh, I think it's
Violet.
misogyny.
I hate Light, I think. Reading this has made me decide I hate Light. I have been I've been rewatching Twin Peaks, which is good. I'll recommend Twin Peaks. That's it.
Okay. Go check out Twin Peaks if you're interested in that. I know I've seen
You guys
it, but
have
it's in my
got
house, so I should probably rewatch
to
it.
stop ending your sentences on an up lilt, because if people think that if you end your sentence on a I watched Twin Peaks, they think you're gonna say more.
That's why I
Oh.
followed it up with that's it.
Yeah, that's true. I caught that, and I
Okay.
moved on. Shadow didn't do that,
Knowledge
though,
is
so...
downloaded.
Yeah,
Knowledge
good.
downloaded.
Good. There's your PSA. Thank you so much for that, Violet. Next up, Women Apologist. Introduce yourself.
Hi, yeah, I'm Marianne or Dan, whichever you prefer. My recommendation this week is going to be Camp Miasma. I finally got to see it, and it's really good.
Oh. What is this? Is this a movie?
It is the movie movie from the writer and director of I Saw the TV Glow.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's exactly like that movie, and also nothing like that movie at all, and it's amazing.
I did see I Saw the TV Glow. I thought it was very, very good. Okay. Go check that out if you're interested in that. Thank you so much for that. And now we're here to go through the finale of Death. Well, actually, before we get into that, I know at least Aztec wasn't here for a couple weeks, and I don't know if anybody else here was missing last week or whatever. Let's talk about people who weren't here for previous weeks that have thoughts they want to share. Aztec, do you have any thoughts you want to share about the other readings you had to catch up on?
Yeah, I only missed last week, so I binged 4 volumes in 3 hours.
Okay.
Shit, there was a thing, and then I forgot. Lots of misogyny. Yeah, that was a little hard to not. Let's see.
Happens.
I'm not sure what they were doing with Misa at the end, actually. I think they regretted putting her in the story, but also didn't want to kill her. Like
that feels
the
right,
author
actually.
seemed confused why she was still there.
He wasn't doing anything.
It's just one of those things where it was like,
just like randomly antagonizing people. It's like, you could kill me, but you're kind of a bitch.
Literally just awkwardness, like if she dies in any sort of way, they're just gonna assume that that Light was Kira the whole time for reasons or whatever. So I don't know, I guess we can't kill her. And then she lives, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I know this has been the whole series, but the fucking leaps of logic, I'm sorry.
Well,
yeah, the whole thing where they're like, I've found an answer, now I need to find how I got to that answer. The one where they like raided the hideout was last week's reading, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That pissed me off so fucking much.
Why did it piss you off? You have a problem with with them just
if those were American cops, this would be a very different story.
Sorry, he can't. He's a Light's dad. There's no way he could even think about writing his name in the Death Note.
Okay, yeah, but none of the other guys shot him either. They were all very well armed.
Hey, listen.
like these are very much murderers they were after. It's like, we'll use tear gas and non-lethal rounds, I guess.
Hey, listen. Meanwhile,
plan
America is
right
giving in
here.
fully to Kira. Okay.
The way that they illustrated the president in some of the bonus chapters was really fascinating.
By the way, you're mentioning bonus chapters. What do you mean by bonus chapters?
I'm not getting bonus
No,
I don't
I
know-
didn't see any bonus.
I don't know if some of your chapters are like being considered a bonus chapter, even though they were just a chapter or something, or if this was like you were reading from a version that was like the Black Edition, which I think does have bonus chapters.
I was reading from, let me double check the newsletter, the local library, and it had like 108.1, 2, 3, and 4, I think.
What was
But
in
yeah,
them?
I mean, they weren't. So 2 of them were about other instances where Ryuk gave the death note to some other people. One of them was about Watari. One of them was about how Watari had to take care of Elle and like a little bit of what Elle's childhood was like. And then was the flash forward 6 years with long-haired Nier, was that part of the original series or was that a
No.
bonus?
No. So all
Okay.
I think
Not in what
I've
we
just
read.
I've just checked what you're reading now. This is a part of a spin-off manga called the Death Note short stories. This is why I didn't read it. I see. Okay. So this is actually a separate whole volume of just spin-off stories. So everything that
getting
you
extra
read that was in
homework.
those bonus things, that was all just new
Bonus.
stuff, bonus stuff from 2021 was when those came out.
Whoa.
Oh,
Because that means
okay.
This episode isn't the finale, and next week we all need to come.
No,
Yo,
I mean,
back for
they
Death
were-
Note, another note. Don't you know the hit
some of
prequel?
them were
It's
like
actually good.
fun. Like there was one of the one shots like was the one that established the rule that you can't sell the death note because the genuine. Oh my god, it was so funny. So Ryu comes to this kid and the kid is like, "Yeah, I know about the powers. I'm going to sell the notebook, like based on the infamy that it has for being like the thing that Kira used." And in the middle of it, you guys remember that golden skeleton, the one that they keep misnaming?
Justin?
Yeah.
Justin?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
phases at some point. He phases in through the kid's wall and is like, "Hey, Ryuk, the big dead god wants to talk to you." And Ryuk's like, "Ugh." And so he goes to the dead god and then comes back because the kid had sold the death note to the American president at the time. And Ryuk comes back to give the president the death note and is like, "Oh, hey, by the way, the like big death god man just told me that now if this book ever gets sold, he was really pissed about the shit that I just did. So now if the notebook ever gets sold, the person who touches it next dies." Like,
Yo, we got patch notes.
you watch the rule change happen in real time.
My
What
It's
God.
the fuck?
so funny.
Maybe I do gotta read these. Maybe I do gotta read
No,
these.
they're-
Okay.
I do got
They're
three.
so good. Well, some of them are. There's more where like it's Nier and he's like an adult and like solving other like Kira copycat
So he's
cases
just
or whatever. And no, he literally is just L and he's like really boring.
Boring L.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then yeah, there's one talking obviously the one that I was able to make the meme off of with all of the little stupid ass faces that child L makes when he's like in the orphanage, and it's Watari talking about L like finding his passion or whatever for solving cases and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think they were worth reading. I did not realize that not everybody had read them, so
Well,
that's on me.
I completely forgot that those were things because technically they're I don't know why. I mean, I guess they included it on that local library source that you read from because they're just like, oh, these are like bonus things that came out later. But these are like, they are interesting though.
hold on.
So what you're telling me is we gotta all read that volume and then next week meet up to do that and the quiz
that's
for
what
Death
I was
Note,
saying.
right? We gotta do that and the quiz because that
Death
makes an
Note.
odd number of volumes. That's how that works.
Oh, I remember the other one was they had a series of 4 commas.
Yes.
About my favorite ones were talking about Ryuk becoming more and more human the longer that he lived with Misa and Light in the human world, and he develops like allergies, and at one point Misa he's like, "Oh my gosh, Light, look, Misa made little bunnies out of apples," and Light is like, "You're you're more human than the rest of us are, Ryuk." and later Light's like, "Don't you think you should go back to the Shinigami world? Like, you're becoming more human." So Ryuk has a giant snot grip and is like, "Yeah, I think I'm developing allergies." And then the
Oh my
next one
God.
is Misa coming to Light and going, we have to give up the Death Note. And Light's like, why? You wanted to help me make this new world. And she points at Ryuk, who has a mask on and is like sneezing it off of his face.
Oh my God.
And Light is like, you know what? You're right. We have to get rid of these just to get him out of here.
For his own good.
It's important, okay? It's important for his health.
I'm not gonna lie, that does sound pretty good.
It was really funny. I think I sent Violet a couple of screenshots. I don't know if I sent them here, but
Send them to me, yeah.
yeah, they were they were pretty good. So I would recommend those, I think.
Okay, I'll probably check them out. Did other people have
There you go.
thoughts about other readings from the previous weeks that they needed to share and were in tier 4 maybe? I don't remember if anybody else wasn't here. Hearing nothing. This was the final week of Death Note. How did we how'd we think? So, okay, if I recall, there was actually like a number of you who have never experienced this series before. I will tell you right now, as somebody who's consumed the anime several times, the ending is slightly different than how the anime does it. It's like exactly the same up until how how Light meets his demise, pretty much. Like,
Oh, yeah, he's all too.
I
Well,
liked
yeah.
this version better.
yeah. So, like, before we explain the differences, I guess we'll talk about how we got here. So first of all, I'll give you already my first impression for the readings this week. I was like, we are getting heavy text dumps of thoughts again, of thought processes
Want
that I
some
thought we had
text,
already
yeah?
gone through
Want some
already.
text?
I
It's
just
so
Fucking
much.
repetitive.
it was just a big reminder
Want
to
some
me.
dialogue?
Now, like I was reading some other manga before doing this, and I like timed myself because I was curious how long it takes me to read one of the chapters of the series I was reading before this, and it was like I could get through a whole volume of that in like 30, 40 minutes or whatever, 40 minutes ish. This was like 2 hours to get through one of the volumes because of how fucking if I actually read through all of the text of it. Because after a certain point, I stopped reading all of the text of each of the pages because it's just regurgitating the thought process, and we started adding like variables for people's names into this shit once Nier started thinking about stuff. And like it's not like when
Kira and
yeah, L Kira,
X
X
Kira,
Kira, like second Kira,
Why
like
there could be a
Kira,
Y
Kira?
Kira. And
but that so like we established that, and then we also just said like all that we're like L is Kira is Light Yagami, and like so we'll call him L Kira. But then like we started saying L Kira / Light Yagami, and I'm like, well, what was the point of the the name if we're just gonna list all of them every time too? Like I'll say like the thought processing that we're doing here, it's like not as interesting as how it was at the beginning, because at least in the beginning you were seeing progress in between the thought processes. With this, you're just jumping in between like the two different groups on a Skype call at their offices, being like thinking to themselves about what the other person's thinking, and we're not making much actual progress physically in the story up until we get into the Mello situation, which Mello is here as the wild card again. Okay, listen.
Oh.
Were you gonna say something?
No, he certainly did something this time, I think. I'm not sure. Honestly, he probably didn't want to that much.
Mello, okay, I will say this. It has been a while since I paid attention to this half of the anime version. Mello's stuff that he does this week felt like much cooler, much more impactful in the anime last time I watched it. Here, it just felt like very sudden and very useless.
The guy just shows up and then, I guess I'm dead.
But then
he
it
just shows
turned
back
out...
up and does a thing, and then
Yeah.
it turns out no,
Yeah.
he was just super helpful. Actually,
It was
none
like...
of this
yeah.
would have happened without him.
Yeah. There wasn't a coordinated
it
thing,
made
it was
no
just a
sense.
coincidence. Yeah.
But it also
It's
was like, okay,
nothing.
what was he trying to do in the first place? What was Mello's plan?
Who knows?
Like, I do like in Death Notes, because Light is so calculating. I like it when they just throw some curveball in his plans because you cannot plan every single thing to the T. You just cannot, because there's going to be something that happens, something that throws a wrench in your plans at least once. I like that. But what was Mello's plan to begin with? What was he trying to do?
It does even seem like there is a plan because one of his guys is like, "You're not going to kill me. I'm the only one who knows where so and so's going," and then they gun him down.
Yeah.
I thought he had a bulletproof vest.
Overarching plan that they just kill him so it doesn't happen.
They
I
like
thought he had a bulletproof vest. Like, he was so sure of it, and then he's just immediately dead. I'm like, is this a comedy routine?
yeah, they were like, you guys won't kill me.
Yes,
I'm with the
not
kidnappers. I know where
intentionally.
he is. And then like literally the 30 people around him pull out guns and shoot him at the same time.
Is that a comedy?
Most American way
listen.
of doing things.
Potato
Finally, they
chip
killed
scenes,
Tiki
okay?
Toby.
Yeah, it was like really all of a sudden too. We like forgot about Mello and what was the buddy's name, Matt, for like most of last week, I think. Like they were there at the beginning of last week, and then this week was like just they were just gone for a while, and then they showed up right before the big meeting to finally determine who Kira is or whatever. They just show up like randomly, and Matt just shows up and yeah.
And the unfortunate side effect, sorry, you were saying something important. I'm about to say something not important. The unfortunate side effect of the fact that Mello and Matt had net maybe like 3 minutes of screen time is that there's so much goddamn fan fiction of the two. It's insufferable.
Because they have such cool designs.
That's true. They do have aura.
I love Mello's design.
They do have aura.
In theory,
in the anime.
also.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry.
Do what, Anne?
Sorry, they are in theory much more interesting contrasts to L as successors. This is one of the things that kind of like solidified how I feel about this fucking series.
I think the whole
thing with L is that he's every bit as manipulative and cold and calculating as Light.
Yep.
And then you get Nier and Mello, and Mello is the one that actually provides a contrast to L. Nier is just L again.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
No. No, there is one difference. They tried to make Nier charismatic.
Where?
I don't think they did.
Where?
No, I don't think they did. Where's the Riz? What?
He keeps himself locked away from people even more so than L does, or than L did, I guess.
He's afraid they'll be too overcome.
Where was the absolute rant that I went on?
It wasn't me. I don't know.
I do have a theory. I have a theory for what happened with Mello.
Where the personal connection.
I don't know what's being said here.
Well, it's not just that Mello ends up more interesting. It's that, like, what is Death Note saying thematically?
Bad people should die.
That's true.
Damn.
Is Death Note pro death penalty or against the death penalty?
I think
or is it just about vigilante justice?
Question mark?
Okay, I want to say my theory about Mello before I forget it. Okay, here's my theory about Mello. My theory about what happened for Mello here is once we wrote that L died and we had to keep the story going for whatever reason, we decide to introduce two different people to inherit it. One person would continue the vibe of logical cat and mouse stuff, which is Nier, and then the other one would take this shonen into the more action route side of it, which is Mello. And they tried to test drive this to see how the readers would think, and for whatever reason the readers at the time were just probably so upset at the fact that L is dead and they just wanted L back that they were voting more so for Nier in like the popularity polls. And then we just decided, okay, Mello can sit in the back seat. We're just not even gonna think about Mello here. We're just gonna we'll bring it back before the end, but we're gonna focus on Nier here because clearly they all want L back.
Mello, I feel like he didn't like do extra stuff, but I feel like he aura farmed more in the anime, where he just had more scenes where he was just like leaning against stuff, looking cool.
Yep.
And whatnot.
So I found the rant that I had. I'd actually had it with my coworker. I've been talking to a lot of people about how much I hate Death Note.
Is that appropriate to have with your coworker?
Coworker friend who's about to get fired, so it's okay.
Oh.
I said.
Oh, okay.
I said it's not that he has.
Did you?
I said. No promises. I said it's not that Nier has risen necessarily, it's that he lacks the social awkwardness L has. L was just like some fuck-ass bum that
That's
people
not
happen to
Riz.
trust.
Wait, what?
Because, hold on. L, let me finish reading what I wrote! L was just like some fuck-ass bum that people happen to trust because he was the world's greatest detective and they kind of followed him begrudgingly. Nier doesn't have the same namesake L did outside of being his quote-unquote supposed successor, so everyone just following him blindly doesn't make any sense, especially considering he has an American task force people working for him. Bro, they'd be the first people to question what the fuck he has to say, and you're telling me that he has 3 whole people going, yeah, I'll put my life on the line for you. Dude, even the Japanese task force didn't do that for L, and that's with L's proven credentials.
No.
Okay, I'm done.
No.
Damn. Just defeated with a no.
He ain't got no Riz.
He's just a Mary Sue, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's his Riz.
It's
Yeah.
not charisma. He's just a nepo baby.
Yeah.
He's an
literally.
L Mary Sue.
That's what it is. He's a Nepo baby, and I hate him for that.
I will be back in a minute.
Yeah, I think my biggest problem with these whole later volumes is just the fact that, like, we want to do the logical cat and mouse, but we've run out of ideas for how to make that interesting still, so they've just been in separate offices the entire time talking things through towards the end of it, and it's just been really annoying me, because I'm just reading text walls of logically thinking through shit that has already happened to try to deduce current things and later things, but I'm just like, when am I going to get, like, some new arc?
You seeing shit that is happening in real time that you are also seeing them think about. So you're just seeing them.
But like
do something or have someone do something, and then he'll go through his entire thought process, and then it'll cut to Nier being like, okay, so obviously this is his thought process, and it just repeats the same fucking thing all over again.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a real good method to pad out pages, alright? It's a tried and true method.
I think that's part of why, ultimately, and this is very, obviously we're jumping, like, way ahead, but I think ultimately that's why, in the end, I wish Light had won. Because specifically because you have several pages of that very long, rambling, fucking talking. But it's several pages explaining to the reader new content, right? New action, stuff that we didn't see with, what's the fucking Takumi or whatever?
Takado?
Yeah, that guy. It's like new information about him and stuff that you didn't.
Are you talking about Mikami, the new X Kira? You talking about X Kira?
Yes, the X Kira.
Yeah, that's
Mikami. Because we're getting, like, new information on, like, what he did and how his actions played a part in it, and I really liked all of that thinking that Light had. So then you get all this buildup, and you're like, yes, Light won. Like, honest, like, he thought this out, and then Nier's like, psych. But Nier is just saying, here's everything that you just said, but, like, here's what we did differently. And it's like, cool. I didn't have fun reading Nier's part of that fight. I only had fun reading Light's part of that fight, and I wanted that to be how it ended, because I thought that that was more interesting. That's
because none of us like Nier and Mello. Well, Nier specifically.
Mello's fine. He's just, like, there. I don't know. Because,
No, okay, so the thing I was saying. No, I'm sorry.
Shadow talk first.
Yeah.
What's up, Shadow?
Okay, my thing with Mello was, like, early on, hey, this character's kind of interesting. He also gets, like, a lot of, like, funny situations with Cito. And, like, I wish there was more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a serious guy, but he gets, like very silly scenarios.
They wanted... So... Anyway, and go, before I start talking again.
It's okay. It's just... So, with Light and L, you have this, like, philosophical difference of, like, L is never going to kill someone. He's never going to cross that line. And that's like the philosophical difference that is driving the conflict between the two, because they are so similar as characters. And then Death Note just repeats that again with Nier, but also Nier is absolutely willing to kill people, so it doesn't... That fundamentally doesn't
unless
mean
it's Light.
Unless
He's
it's Light
not
for
willing to
some
kill
reason.
Kira, but that's the only person.
It's the only person. So
Collateral
there's
damage
no...
is fine.
So you're doing a cat and mouse thing where the two characters have no real difference, have no anything differentiating them.
One of them has
Whereas
light
this
hair.
Mellow, if they had like Mellow be this like primary successor with Nier like functioning as more of the support role, I guess, that is switched around, then you have an actual like noticeable difference. It's not so much about morality as much as it is the means themselves.
I think that would have been definitely more interesting, and that would have like honestly been really easy to do. With Nier not caring about how it gets done as long as it gets done, he could have been like, "Yeah, sure, you're first."
They opened up Nier and Mellow's arc with the idea that they are competing for the position of L, and then didn't actually really capitalize on that competition at all outside of like the few volumes that Mellow was involved in. And it's like I think I was talking with Violet about this. It's like I wish that they had Loki pulled a JoJo Part 3 and been like, here's Death Note Part 1 and here's Death Note Part 2. Death Note Part 1 is Light and L, and Death Note Part 2 is Nier and Mellow. But that means that you have to take Light out of like the Nier and Mellow part and stop focusing so much on him. So that's why it would be like a Part 2 versus a Part 1. Not necessarily because L's gone, but because you have to remove Light in order to be able to focus on Nier and Mellow, and the author just wasn't able to do that because the story is supposed to be about Light.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it
would have been more interesting.
Yeah, it would have been.
Because then you also have Light, like, because then if you keep Light out of focus like that, but still have him as like the thing that they're competing about, then that lets Light be a presence and like be this antagonistic force, like driving the two of them, but he remains so out of focus that he's not taking up all the oxygen in the room, and the other two actually have the chance to show that they are intelligent, and that lets us as the audience like be in their position of not knowing what it is that Light is trying to do.
I know this would never have happened because I know that like readers would have lost their shit if they couldn't see Light anymore in the manga, but honestly, I feel like this whole second part of Death Note would have been so much better if you just didn't see him at all. You only focused on Nier and Mellow trying to, like, from their different perspectives, approach the case and maybe eventually work together or awkwardly not work together or something, but, like, focusing only on these other people trying to catch him, not even see Light at all until they, like, uncover, you know, in that warehouse meeting or whatever, that it's him or whatever. But I know that the readers would not have stuck around for that at all, because at that point...
That would have been so much more interesting. Because there's that, his puppet kind of, like... He dresses all the other puppets he has, or Nier dresses all the other puppets he has up as the people, but he doesn't know what Light looks like, so he doesn't dress that up as Light.
You get that focus, and then you would also get, like, the focus on, like, the world under the effects of, like, Kira taking over or whatever. You get to focus on that side of things more. You get to see Mellow ingraining themselves within the mob and all that, too, and Nier trying to establish these weird connections with American Task Force or whatever. Because, like, we're just kind of... The American Task Force is just kind of dumped on us. We don't know anything about these people at all. And we're just like, all right, I guess these are the new people helping out. But it turns out like several of them were like the keys to taking down Kira. One of them in particular made an exact copy of like the entire Death Note twice in order for this to work out in like one night. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't, you know, there's a whole bunch more stuff we could have done exploring that, but I think it was the awkwardness of like, we can't have Light not be shown anymore. The readers are already upset that L's not going to be there. We can't have Light also not be there. They're not going to stick around. And then, like, we tested the waters on if they still wanted to be a logical battle or an action shonen, and clearly they wanted more of the logical battle stuff, so we ignored Mello until the very end. Like, what do we... And so this is... it feels so awkward because I think we just ran out of ideas that we were willing to commit to towards the end. Like, even with the big development before the conclusion that we got this week was all the Takeda stuff, which we could talk about the Takeda stuff. The Takeda spokeswoman situation, which was established last week.
The Takeda stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about the Takeda.
God.
So
she died in the fashion I was sure Misa would.
Yeah.
Just thrown under the bus. Her death is like a footnote in this story.
Yep. I was like so mad about that because I was like, what the fuck? But like, I don't like. You know the type of person Light is by now, but you would have expected Misa to also have gotten that treatment at some point during this. But honestly, after L died, Misa just became useless. I mean, like, she was there to like look at the screens in like the room next door. Yeah,
a literal accessory, and that's it.
We just like,
which saved her somehow.
I guess, because we're just like, oh, she actually survives because Nier hyper suspected her of being the second Kira before, and was like, she might still have the Shinigami eyes and might still like try to kill us in some way involving the meeting. So we're gonna keep you here until the meeting, then we'll send you off to some luxury hotel where you're gonna stay during the entire meeting. And then she gets away because of that. Still fully suspects her of being the second Kira, by the way.
Yeah.
But she gets to go away now with that, I guess. To start a little Kira worship cult in the future is what it looks like was being implied.
Yeah. So the whole
that's supposed to be her at the end.
I didn't catch it. I didn't catch that it was supposed to be.
It did not look like her face at all.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like her. I was like,
Christianized
is this supposed to be her?
Yeah,
they took the hot.
It doesn't look like
girl,
her, but it like has to be her. You know,
they took the hot goth girl and put her through Christian mind wiping. That's what they did to her for that end shot.
As a Christian, I can testify to that.
The whole like kidnapping part really felt like one of the Shueisha editors came to Ohba and was like, oh yeah, so how's Mello gonna be in this final volume? And Ohba goes, huh? It really felt like one of the editors was like, you still got some characters you gotta like wrap up or something, like what's gonna happen to them? And Ohba's like, oh shit.
Okay.
Mello comes in and decides to kidnap her, and his associate immediately gets shot, and she's gonna have a death note thing, so she'll kill him. And then Light will decide to kill her then. Yeah, there we go. That's all of them taken care of. Okay, cool. Let's get to the final thing.
Quick question. I feel like I missed this detail. When the fuck did they figure out his name again? I feel like I missed
when did they figure out whose name?
Mello's name.
Mello's name.
Oh, when Light's dad saw it, because Light's dad got the Shinigami eyes and then looked at it.
Oh, yeah. And then he said it.
And then he said it out loud.
Light. Yeah, and spelled it, but because Light hadn't seen Mello's face,
Light hadn't seen his face,
he couldn't go through with it. So Light knew his name and not his face, so then he had to talk to do the hard stuff.
Yeah,
must the memory hold that?
I have an update because
I
googled something for sanity checking. And I had thought the lady towards the end was implied to be Misa. Apparently, according to some interview with them later, it was not. It was just a random Kira worshiper. Apparently, that's not Misa at the end.
What?
Supposedly,
I thought it was Misa.
Why?
Apparently, that's not. That's what they said. I'd assumed it was her, but apparently it's not.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
It doesn't look like her, but like story-wise, it has to be Misa.
I enjoyed the side stories that I did read. Where's her side story? Where's her sequel? I want to see what happened with her.
Guys, the hack fraud can't write a story. Shocker.
It's entirely appropriate that she just stops existing and they introduce an entirely different girl that we don't know.
To be the final shot of this series.
Okay, other update.
Yeah.
Other update, okay. This isn't shown or confirmed in like the actual manga chapters, it says, but in the official guidebook Death Note How to Read 13, it confirms that she died by suicide on February 14, 2010, Valentine's Day. Exactly 1 year after Light Yagami's death, apparently. So
I don't believe that.
Well,
no,
like,
that's fanfiction.net. No.
This is
Ohba
apparently
saw that online. It was
I know.
like, I'm just gonna claim that.
So there was one person's death after the fact that was confirmed afterwards, and that was Mikami. Mikami supposedly killed himself after the events of the reveal.
Like 10 days later?
Yeah, he went crazy in prison or something.
But then there was like a whole back and forth about like, oh, did he actually kill himself, or was it Nier who wrote his name in the Death Note to convince him or to control him into doing it to get rid of him or whatever or something? And I was like,
so you couldn't like.
I don't know if that's Nier, but I don't know what we're trying to do here at the end with this. That epilogue is just not in the anime at all, by the way.
The whole, like,
if I remember correctly,
the same character.
I don't remember
There's
it
no
being
difference
in the anime
between Nier and Light.
Yeah.
There's nothing differentiating them.
Yeah.
I hate all of this.
I saw one panel this week where they both had the headsets on, smiling at each other while saying nothing.
Yeah.
I was laughing at it because I was like, these are just two dudes on Xbox Live shit talking each other.
Yeah.
You do not want to be in that COD lobby.
Like they are hating women in there. What is going on? Even Nier would be joining in on that too. Yeah. So. Yeah. So a lot of patch notes happening after the events of the manga. Apparently. Apparently that wasn't Misa at the end. I had thought that genuinely was Misa at the end because I was like, what the fuck else happened to her? So I think
else would that be?
You know what? I feel like that has to be that, and that they just tried to retcon it later for whatever dumb reason. I feel like it has to be because we just decided not to mention it at all
any
after.
Fucking sense otherwise.
We lore dropped what happened to Mikami, but not Misa. That has to be Misa at the end, and we just retconned it later in some interview. It has to be. I can't accept it otherwise.
Someone kept poking fun at like, oh, that really doesn't look like Misa. What happened to her? And he's finally just like, fine, it's not Misa, okay? Fine.
Fine.
It's not Misa. She fucking killed herself, okay? Are you happy?
The point of the scene, regardless of whether or not it's Misa or not, is still to show that Kira's influence is still held in this world, and maybe they'll do something in the future. I don't know. But then we're done. So that was the end of that. But like that whole situation with Misa, like her whole part in the story, pretty much ended once L died. Like she really played no other part afterwards other than to be there and be like an accessory that Light had to try to keep calculating when to optimally kill her. He's like, I have to kill her. It's just a question of when. Should I kill her now? Or should I wait until, an opportune time later? Should I wait till after Nier's taken care of? Should I get rid of her now that I have Takada? Like, it's just when do I kill her? And then we forget to kill her before everything else ends. So
I wish that she and Takada had gotten into a fist fight. That would have been so fucking funny.
So we did have a moment this week with Misa and
Takada.
The girls were fighting, not physically, but because Misa knows that they're doing the meetups, and Misa's just like, she's getting too close to my Light. I know she went to the college with him or whatever for the case. Doesn't she know that she's being used for the case? And like she doesn't think the same about herself at all. She doesn't think that she's being used by Light either at all, because why would she?
I really liked that scene outside of the context of Misa like actually being a character, because of the miscommunication. Because Misa's sitting there thinking that they're they're talking about Light and Kira, but Misa's sitting there thinking that they're only talking about Light, and Takada's sitting there thinking they're only talking about Kira. And so it means that they're having these very different intentions behind what they're saying, and it's so funny to me to be knowing they are fighting over the same guy, but because if I remember correctly, Misa doesn't have her memories at this point.
No,
No,
So
she doesn't.
she doesn't know that Light is Kira. So in her head, she's strictly she's fucking trying to take my husband. And in Takada's head, she's like, oh, Misa's betrothed to Kira? That's really fucked up that he's saying all these things to me or whatever. And it's I don't know. I just thought that the miscommunication between them was really funny. It made that scene really fun to read.
Yeah. That whole interaction, I was just like, at least I get some more Misa scenes. I don't remember. I honest to God forgot whether or not I forgot what happened to Misa at the end of the actual anime. I remembered she does have the fight with Takada, but I forgot what happens to her afterwards. Turns out nothing.
Reason you forgot.
We just casually kidnap her at some point. Nier just casually kidnap. This is, by the way, just a thing that the task force is just like, oh, some people from my group are missing. What's Nier got to say about this? Nier, do you know anything about this? It's like, oh, I just happened to kidnap them. I thought that was for the best.
And then asks, what for? It's gotta just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, just to be safe until this is all over. And I'm just thinking, what do you mean until this is all over? How are you gonna wrap up all this right now? How do you how long are you gonna keep her there for? Oh, until this is all over. It'll be in 3 days. You can meet in 3 days at 1 o'clock exactly, right? At this warehouse that I bought. I just bought a warehouse nearby. We can meet there, right? We can do that at 1 o'clock specifically. 3 days from now.
Real estate investor.
So we just casually kidnapped Misa and Mogi, and Mogi's just like, I trust Nier. It's cool. The whole time Misa's just complaining. We do get a lot of funny little Misa expressions, and we get these nice moments from Misa of the few moments that we get to have with her now. But it's just, I don't know what happened. We truly forgot about me. You know what I'm reminded about? I won't spoil all of the ending for Breaking Bad, but Huel is a character who gets put into a safe house at some point, and then we just never talk about him again. And we just conclude the whole show without talking about what happened to that guy at all. We just move on. He's just waiting at that safe house still. Don't worry.
It's called witness protection for a reason.
The witness, the people who put him in that safe house were gone afterwards, and I don't think anybody else knew he was there. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. Listen.
Yeah, and now he's safe.
Well, yeah, that's the point of witness protection, is nobody knowing you're there. Duh.
How could I not have known? Anyways, listen. I'm just like, what happened with Mello? What happened with Misa? What are we doing here? And then we brought in Light's sister at some point in this arc as a kidnapped character, and I'm thinking oh, we're gonna get more info about Light's relation with his actual family.
Nope.
No,
not really.
Not only do we not get that, then Light's dad just dies. By the way, I'm confused about a detail with that, because supposedly when Light's dad looks at him, he, with the Shinigami eyes, he sees the time, which tells him that he can't be Kira because he doesn't own a Death Note, which we established at the time is because he technically doesn't own it. He's just got a piece on him at all times. But this week, Mikami's looking at him, and he doesn't see the lifetime, so he knows that he's Kira. And I'm like, wait, what happened here? When did he get possession of a Death Note now? What's going on with this? How did this happen? What's going on?
I don't think he did.
I was so confused about that detail, but I was like, maybe just not think about it. Maybe there was some sort of switcheroo that happened off screen that I wasn't aware of, with the whole give up possession of the Death Note, Misa, and then we'll do some other steps with Mikami.
Wait
thing.
a minute.
I don't know.
It just occurred to me. Hold on. Wait, no. I just another thing.
Yeah.
If you steal a Death Note from someone, they lose ownership of it.
That's why I'm so confused about some of these details with that. I don't know how, But whatever. Okay, fine.
I'm
like,
confused.
I
like,
thought you couldn't steal ownership. I thought it had to be given.
No. You if you steal it, I think you can't. Hold on, I gotta find this one. Holy shit.
Look it up.
This is
Look up the patch
crazy if
notes here,
true.
okay? Look up the patch notes.
Can't believe the rules
I
are
thought it was
finally
like it had to
relevant.
be given up willingly or they have to die.
No, I thought there's like a mention about like thievery specifically.
Well, we can figure that out. Listen, all I was talking about is I'm just like, what's the deal with whole Light's dad? Did Light's dad actually see that he was Kira, and he just decided on his deathbed to not admit that to everybody else, and he actually technically had possession the whole time? But I feel like Light would have immediately had an internal monologue about that if that were the case. So that probably isn't the case. So I don't even. So I have to assume that there was some sort of other thing that happened, because otherwise Mikami's not going to know that this is God or whatever. But whatever. Anyways, the Takeda thing was the main thing, and then Mello kidnapping Takeda at some point, just randomly kidnaps her. For what reason? Just fucking last chance attempt at getting some sort of action from Kira. I don't fucking know, man. By the way,
sorry, I stepped away. Are we talking about the Takeda kidnapping?
The Takeda kidnapping, I mentioned as a thing. I want to also mention though with that. I'm sorry. Let me have you go first, because it sounded like you were going to say something in relation to the Takeda kidnapping. What were you going to say?
I was just going to mention that I think that it was hinted that like Mello had done that to assist Nier somehow, and I'm still not sure how that helped.
He knew it would kill him, which was going to do something else. But it seemed like when he got leaked the information by whatever that chick's name was, Lidner maybe or something, that he knew he was gonna have to do it and get killed by the Death Note. But I'm not sure. That's what they meant for it to be, but I'm not really still sure the logistics of how they were explaining it. Like, I saw the explanation, but I didn't understand it.
The implication I got from reading that scene was it felt like Mello did all of that because he had just found out that Nier was planning to try to unveil Kira in like a few days, and Mello was worried that this situation was going to get Nier killed, and so he decided to, as a way to try to save somebody he grew up with, kidnap Takeda, hoping to do other things afterwards, and then things went wrong because Takeda happens to have a piece of the Death Note stuffed in her bra, I guess.
Well, I think the idea is that somehow Mello would have figured out that kidnapping her would make the guy with the Death Note go to the bank to get his real Death Note out to fix the problem.
Yeah, I don't think that was the. I think like Mello was trying to delay the meeting. I think that was the goal. I think the goal was to delay the meeting by kidnapping Kira's spokesperson, and then Kira, or like with the suspicion that Light is Kira, they would try to like move it back or something. I don't know, but
the way it had shown Mello like slumped over in the chair going, I guess I have to do it, made me think that he knew he was going to just die with whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part I can understand, yeah.
But it's still just like, but what was your plan? Like, you had a plan, but what was it?
Oh. Okay. So I found the Bebo being stolen. Okay. So you do lose ownership of it, but either one of two things can happen additionally. You need to either die, which that didn't happen, or it needs to be stolen for 490 days.
Oh, okay.
What?
So you can still own a Death Note if it's been stolen for you, as long as like a year and a half hasn't passed.
Yeah.
Why is it 490 days?
I guess it being in the glass case counted as being stolen, maybe?
Numbers.
I was gonna
say, somebody was
like
drunk writing these.
Because like
490. That's that'd be a good number.
I'm assuming it's some sort of Japanese cultural like fucking significant superstition thing. Maybe I don't know.
7 squared times 10.
I don't know.
Just really likes that number for some reason.
So like the Takeda meetups. So the other thing is the secret Light meeting with Takeda in the hotel rooms, and then, Takeda's later calling Mikami to relay whatever words that she was told by Light. Now, at this point, everybody in the task force isn't seeing what's happening. They're only listening through a wire, because after the first call, Kira made it clear that they're not allowed to look in or whatever. So now they're not looking in, but they can listen. And this allows Light to just simply write notes to Takeda explaining what he wants her to actually do, while pretending to have a conversation with her the whole time about something else entirely. Pretending to romance her, so that the other people can hear it on the radio, but then also kind of actually romancing her in a way. I was confused. Matsuda kept getting excited about it. Matsuda was watching it like a drama show.
Yeah, he was romancing her because she's a woman, so she's easy to romance.
Of course,
it's just very easy for Light to do because of how smart he is.
Of course. But when his two girls decide to meet each other and have an argument, he thinks to himself, "Why are all women like this?"
Pushing as hard as it is, pushing the misogyny aside for a second, and pushing Matsuda's freaking out aside for a second. My only thought for most of those meetings was, how the hell are Takeda and Light maintaining a verbal conversation different than the one that they're writing? Because I can't do that. It was one thing when Light was like giving her the prompts, but she was just repeating them out loud because they had the wires. But like later on, they're having two completely separate conversations. She's responding to him, like writing back to him as they're talking about something else, and I'm like, no normal person can do that.
Light, I believe, can do it because he's a crazy psychopath or sociopath, whatever the term we said he's technically classified under. I don't know if Takeda is maybe because of like newscaster experience, hearing conversations like an earpiece or like reading things from prompts or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's that kind of experience. I don't.
Of course, you would doubt the woman, Derek. What the hell?
I don't doubt that she could do it, but like, I don't think most people in general could do it.
I don't think most women could do that. So.
Light, he's written up to be like this extremely gifted guy. Some gifted man, who like is extremely intelligent and stuff, but like he still has his human limits, and I think that's pushing his human limits a little bit.
Like, all I can say is Takeda knows how to pick him.
Hey. Oh, by the way, Takeda in all the notes is being like, "Hey, we should kill Misa. What's Misa still doing here? We got to get rid of her." and the whole time, Light's just like, "No, we're not. Don't make me repeat myself." I think is what he wrote in one of the notes. Don't make me repeat myself.
Yeah, literally one of them. Don't make me repeat myself.
we're
like,
leaving
bro,
her.
How does anyone like you?
We're leaving her right now. Okay, we're leaving Misa alive. I'm killing her at the optimal time, and they doesn't get to. So.
He's like, I'm trying to forget she exists.
The funniest. She's just so funny. She's just so fun. I don't know how you could dislike her.
Misogyny.
Yeah.
So the notepad situation, though, it was just a whole thing like, oh, how are they going to realize that they've been writing the secrets on the notepad? Oh, no, Aizawa just kind of intuits it. I'm like, are we serious? Because I remembered that whole, they were passing the notes together in the anime. I forget how he figures it out other than, like, testing the notepad. I forgot that, like, he just intuits it before he even marks one of the notepads. He just intuits it in his thoughts. He's like, they could just be exchanging notes to each other because we can't see them the whole time. And then he just puts marks on it. But like,
it is a reasonable thing to think, I would say, because they are so paranoid about Light specifically.
Yeah.
Because they are starting to think that he's Kira.
Yep.
But
and
also,
if you can't see them, then I mean.
Yeah. The other thing is that the entire fucking series has been people just randomly intuiting shit. When was the last time there was an actual, like, deduction of any kind?
I was just thinking,
like... I appreciate that entire thing, actually.
Everyone in Death Note is a low-level psychic, is all.
They treat so much of this as, like, actual deduction when it's really just either, like, just wildly on-point intuitions or just repeating things that they are guessing that happen to be correct.
I had been... This is going to sound completely out of left field, but in the vein of just, like, deductions, I was thinking about it last night after I'd finished the reading, because it's not a mystery. It's like a thriller, right? Like a psychological thriller or something. But the ending and why the ending upset me reminded me of that VNConf talk from the developer of Detective Butler from a couple years ago, about the fact that what makes a good mystery is the fact that even the viewers can and should have all of the puzzle pieces required to be able to solve the mystery themselves. The satisfaction of the mystery is the fact that the detective does it, but if it's a well-done mystery, you should also be able to solve it alongside the detective. And I didn't like the ending because we couldn't do that. Realistically, genuinely, like, throughout the rest of the story, you can't really do it either, but, like, you obviously, because you're from Light's perspective, you kind of get the hints. You can kind of, if you're smart enough, you can kind of see, like, the logic that, like, Light's putting into his actions. At the very end, Nier pulls out this, like, gotcha moment that we had absolutely no inclination could have happened. And that's what pissed me off, was the fact that you don't get because you don't get to... I listen, I don't like the ending, and I think that that's why. That's all.
No, I agree.
Yeah, no, it's not.
There was... So, last week, because I knew they were going to do the whole notes exchanging stuff, in last week's reading, when at some point they were looking at the camera saying, why are they just sitting there, just staring at each other, not talking? And Masuda's like, oh, you know nothing about romance, okay? This is just... It's building up, all right? I thought that was like... Light had memorized the positions of all the cameras in the room and was, like, showing her cards or, like, notes, like right in front of him, explaining, I'm Kira, don't make it obvious. The room is, like, cameraed or whatever. I thought that was where that was revealed. But no, it just turned out all that, like, I'm Kira gets revealed with, like, the phone call from Mikami, and then she just believes him. Oh, you're Kira. Oh, that makes sense. And then this week is where we just get the notes back and forth, and we just move on from that. But I thought it was, like, a little more clever with that last week, because I couldn't remember when the notes stuff was, like, shown off. So for a second I thought it was a little clever about it, and then it wasn't. Not that it really is a huge deal about the notes or whatever. I think my problem is just that, like, this is, like, a big piece of evidence, like, that's just you admitting you're Kira. It's like written evidence that you are basically Kira from these super secret meetings that, like, get you in serious trouble if you try to sneak into or, like, are caught doing any weird shit near by, like, several bodyguards and, like, police officers and shit. And I'm just like, what are the logistics behind this? Like, how are they, like, making sure that they're able to write these notes and nobody's able to figure out, like, the scraps? What are they doing with the scraps of paper afterwards? How is the... Like, are they being ultra quiet with, like, tearing them out of the notepad or whatever so that the wire can't pick it up?
Yeah, because they're using, like, a page per note. Like...
Yeah. Like, meanwhile, Mikami is filling out... Meanwhile, Mikami is filling out every single inch of an entire page of the Death Note, which has unlimited pages, mind you. It has unlimited pages. It fills itself up.
He cares about the environment, okay?
Oh, okay. By the way, that's another detail too.
How in all of Light's planning did he not think to bring his own notepads?
I think that was what he was doing.
No,
I think
the hotel had one.
So he had the hotels, but then he would replace them. It seemed like he was replacing them afterwards entirely, like all of them.
Why don't we just use his own? Why does he need to?
I don't think so.
No, he was replacing them. It would have been just smarter to bring a notepad.
Yeah, it's like stealing a can of Pringles and then putting another one.
Because the point was, Aizawa marked the last pages of several of them. Wait, what? What did he say?
Yeah.
What did you say? I missed it. What did he say?
Hold on. Well, I mean, one.
Are we eating? Pringles?
It's like get a Pringle and then put another one. What are you doing?
I'll take a potato chip and eat it. Is that why you brought Pringles? Did you bring Pringles for the finale? Hold on. Oh, wait. Actually, you're smart. I should have done. We all actually should have brought. I had chips earlier today. I could have saved some. Fuck.
No,
I should have taken a potato chip and ate it.
I brought a notepad and replaced it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, guys, notepad plus.
If Death Note is good, this would be happening.
That reminds me too, for the finale of Steins Gate, for when I was reading that, I should have had a Dr. Pepper on me. I should have drank that, but that's whatever.
Oh, goodness.
Anyways.
Look, that's the plan for the last GX Spirit Caller stream. Get Monster Energy.
But yeah, like Aizawa
Monster Energies.
Aizawa marked like the last pages of several notebooks, and like when Aizawa goes to check them later, I think like most of the notepads he marked didn't have the marks in them anymore. I mean, they were fully replaced. A number of, I forget how many there were, but I think he said like at least 2 were replaced or something.
Like 2. It was either 2 out of 4 or 4 out of 6. It was something like that. Even
yeah.
It's like 2 out of 4. I think.
So like they replaced it.
Yeah,
but I'm
I don't
thinking
know,
like you need to replace the exact same notepad every time, and you're going to different hotels every time. So are you like, are the hotels replacing them, or are you just getting another one from a different room and then replacing it yourself manually,
They're
or
going
what's?
through like 2 entire notepads, like their entire meeting together. Like
They write like 2 words per note. I guess I don't know. It looked like they were writing a lot on some of these notes too. So I don't know. By the way, I could not tell the difference between which ones they were supposed to communicate with each other about and which ones like Takada was supposed to read out loud. Like.
Yeah, because they started doing that towards the end, and it's like, well, when did you tell her to start reading these out?
I was reading the note first, super confused, and then I see her repeat it like a couple panels later, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Maybe there's like a lost translation thing where like certain notepads are written certain ways to like tell which one.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was a translation thing, or I didn't know if like, because this is a manga, we wouldn't be seeing some sort of like visual gesture, like him pointing to it, like in a different way for her, like cueing her to read it out loud instead. I didn't know if it was something like that, but it's whatever. These are like whatever details, I guess, in this case where all these little details fucking matter. But whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. The little details don't matter in this manga, but the little details matter.
It just. Why does it
The
matter?
little details that mattered.
See, we're in the second part where details don't matter. The details only matter in the first part.
Details don't matter. You just make an observation and it's correct. Then you have to prove it.
Yeah, you can just say whatever, and it's true.
You're so right. They should use this in elementary school science classes to teach people about the scientific method. You make an observation and then try and prove it.
Oh.
That's true. They're actually scientists,
Yes,
not
so
detectives.
Ella's a scientist and not a detective.
Sure. Hey, listen, he invented a whole cell phone system and everything, okay? He invented a whole cell phone system.
That was wild.
Why not? Fuck it. I just... The other detail that I noticed this week, Nier is just straight up telling Light everything that they're working on for the most part. Well, not everything, but like is being like straight up with like the intentions for why things are happening and like their reasons for it to happen with like most of the things. I forget the exact examples, but like Nier just flat out did not give a fuck about telling Light a whole bunch of stuff about their plan. Mostly for calculated reasons, I guess, but also it was probably a hint of like, you can't really do anything to stop it at this point unless I were to reveal a couple other certain key things that I'm not going to reveal to you, I guess. There's like, less of like the little mind games that L would kind of try to play, where he would be like testing people in certain ways, and more of just like, I'm asking you this direct question. I'm doing it to test if you are this or not. Like, depending on how you answer, will tell me this fact. And then like knowing
I know that you know that I know that you know.
Yeah, and it's like it's doing all this
know that
knowing
he
that
knows.
like it's not Light there alone. He knows that there's like several other people there that he's also trying to win over and convince about this stuff too. So it stopped being like a whole we're gonna find evidence or like of some other actions to prove that this is Kira, and more of we're just gonna win over the other task force people so that they can see that this is Kira, and then we're also gonna do something later to try to like prove it or whatever. And at some point I wondered when we were just gonna start fabricating evidence on your side. I was wondering
that would have been funny.
Which,
the true American way.
You know, if we just started fabricating evidence to convince them. Because Nier's just like, I know that you're Kira at this point. Now I just gotta convince everybody else. And I'm just like, okay, fabricate some evidence. And like, honestly, it almost like Light towards the end tried to convince them that was what was happening, but like they weren't buying it. So they weren't buying it at that point. So I guess we're at the point now where we can finally talk about how this ended, the actual warehouse finale scene. The day of the meeting happens. We had to make sure it was at this exact day, on this exact time. The kidnapping, we didn't want it to change the day at all for reasons. And it turned out it was, they all met up there. They waited a bit. Nier was there with a mask at first and then took it off later once it turned out like nobody was being controlled by the Death Note to like kill everybody there as soon as like the meeting started or whatever. Then they just waited for Mikami to show up, because they knew Mikami would show up, and Mikami would peek through the door and write everybody's names in their Death Note. And Nier explains, this is fine, because he will not be able to kill us. We've replaced the Death Note. It is actually a fake Death Note he will be writing in. And Light's just like, all as planned. I knew this was your plan the whole time. I calculated it, and I did this and this. I had him write into a fake note the whole time so that you wouldn't even know. I had him purposely reveal it in front of one of your agents at some point so that he would try to get in contact with that notebook. Purposely kept going to the gym so that you could like explain this whole thing. And then I stopped for a moment and I said, you revealed to us, the reader, that you had him make a fake note like last week. Was I the only one who remember? I don't know if I was the only one who remembers this, but like, he tells him in like through Takeda, you're going to send her a couple pages of the Death Note, and then you're gonna start writing in a fake notebook. This is like last week, just said offhand, and then we just ignored it for until now, and we're acting like this was like a big reveal now all of a sudden, but it's not. It was like revealed then. So like, I'm seeing that like reveal and him trying to re-explain everything that happened with that again, even though I physically saw it. And I'm just like, okay, but this big reveal and re-explanation isn't going to mean anything because you already told me that, so I know something else is about to happen. I know another Uno reverse is about to be there. And then it was.
And then it really wasn't that much of an Uno reverse.
Yeah.
Nier was just like, yeah, so if Mello hadn't just decided to be Mello, I'd be dead now.
Well,
it's like...
That was my original plan, but I added another layer to it after the Mello situation. Why? Because of a series of batshit coincidences that would have happened all at once to line up with this. Okay, listen. First of all, Light said to Mikami, okay, Takeda is going to be writing the names in the book now, the actual pages now. You are not to actually write in the actual notebook until this is all situated. Don't do it. And then Mikami, seeing the Mello situation, went to the bank to write Takeda's name in the notebook, assuming that Light wouldn't be able to do anything right now. So he was like, I'll write Takeda's name to solve the situation.
Which, despite Light at his wit's end, confessing and just at death's door, he takes the time to mentally go, well, Mikami did make the right decision because I'm really mad at him, but, you know, he was smart enough because, you know, I did tell him that I can't do anything right now and he has to be the one to go through my will, so he really did make the right decision. It's like, you're only saying this because he's a man.
By the way,
only doing this
by the way,
he's a man.
But he was like, I thought his faith would his faith in me and loyalty in me when I told him not to do it would get him to not do it. But this one time, it's failed me. Okay, he believed too much in me. He tried to do too much for me on my behalf.
He was too good.
He was actually so good. He was like 1 minute off of when Light wrote the time of death for Takeda.
Yeah. They wrote the same thing apparently too. With the fire.
Yeah, they were the same exact thing, and they're like a minute off apparently. He was like that close to doing it, I guess, to getting it perfectly right. But it's not writing Takeda's name on there that did it. It was the fact that he went to the bank like a day after going to the bank. So they were like, that's a little weird. Why do you do that? Oh, safe deposit box. It's got the notebook in it. All right, this is the real notebook. Got it. Now we just replaced that one as well.
When Light was re-explaining all of his grand plan, that's when I started really thinking. I was like, wait a second, Nier fell for this? Because we see Mikami on the like train or whatever, and he just pulls out the death note in front of the guy.
Yep.
And someone
I was like, this is a
immediately
performance.
dies right beside him. And then he is seen on camera talking about Shinigami.
Yep.
And y'all had no qualms about that?
Yeah.
Y'all were just like, yeah, we've got him. We've got the things.
Nier legitimately goes, oh yeah, we probably should have suspected from that that you were up to something. But like, they would have just believed that?
Yeah, like, wait, y'all really believed that? Like, you should have died here. Literally, Mello saved y'all, and who knows what he was even trying to do.
Why I'm saying Light should have won.
By the way, I'd like to mention that Nier's amazing plan gets hard countered by one thing. Would you like to take a guess?
What's that?
Mikami just rips out a page like a couple days before and hides it somewhere else.
So I was thinking like another thing with the whole Mikami situation.
It doesn't need to rip a whole page. You can just like rip a tiny snippet.
Mikami, I just want to know, Mikami with what he was doing, why was Mikami not also just destroying the evidence every single time he used the notebook? I feel like Mikami would not be leaving the Death Note with all of the names still written down in the actual Death Note. I feel like he wouldn't be doing that. But apparently, he has been the whole time. So much so that he fills up every inch of he fills a whole page a day, every inch of the page, with just the names of the people he's meant to kill. He's like clockwork with his shit, I guess. Like,
How does he get so many names?
Do you think that Death Note automatically cleans itself out, or is it just like a super thick book at some point?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm not sure. Supposedly, it never runs out of pages.
Answers.
It would have been a super thick book if Light wasn't like ripping pages out of it all the time.
Yeah.
Have to be the one
also
that's bigger on the side.
It was also surprising to me that it wasn't until like the very end warehouse confrontation that we entertained the thought of, hey, maybe people can tear out parts of the notebook and use it outside of the notebook. Nier just didn't think about this until now, and then just asked Ryuk, and Ryuk's like, yeah, sure, maybe. I think he answered that one. Ryuk just
Ryuk was like, yeah, I'll answer any of your questions.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll answer you now. Ryuk could tell. Ryuk's like, all right, it's done. This is over. Yeah. I'm like, all right.
I love that.
Good run.
You had a good run there, Light.
He was a bro until the very end, and then he's like, all right, you're done.
Yeah.
I do love that Matsuda is the one to shoot Light.
Yep.
He's the fastest draw and does not hesitate because he realizes something is up, even though he loves Light.
Yeah.
He does not hesitate, and I love that. And not just once, because he shoots him several times, and I love it.
And Light brings up, too, like, Matsuda was the one person in the task force closest to actually believing in his ideals, because Matsuda would be the one to bring up, like, you know, Kira's killing criminals. Maybe he's not too bad. Crime rate is going down.
Maybe he's just like us. He's just like me for real.
Like, and now, having realized he's been betrayed and used the whole time, Matsuda, he steps up. I was happy to see Matsuda do that too.
The one thing that felt like an actual story beat,
Yep.
You gotta have Matsuda be the one to be the first to put the foot down at the very end.
So
the only story beat, like
I want to talk about the back and forth of the Uno reverses here. So we have the whole Mikami revealing Mikami writing everybody's names down. Both of them are just like, both sides are just talking in the warehouse about how they know he's outside the door. Let him keep writing it because they know nobody's gonna die. And then Light's just like, hey, person outside the door, did you write all the names? He's like, God, is that God? Yes, I did. He's like, how long ago did you write them? 30 seconds ago. Oh, 10, 9, 4, 40 seconds. All right, Nier, I win. And then nothing happens.
Oh, no.
And they're like, huh. First of all, Nier was like, huh, that's weird. Why was he so quick to respond yes to you? Why did he actually respond to you? That's a little weird. Huh, why did you just say you won there, Light? What's the deal with that? Why did you just say that, huh? He's like, what? I don't know what you guys are talking about. And then they're like, Mikami, why don't you come inside now? Because Mikami is like not scared. He's like, oh, they're all gonna die, and then they didn't die. Like, all right, boys, grab him, take the notebook. Yeah, this notebook he's got, it's a fake. Giovanni in our group, he's just an expert forging person, I guess, along with just being
the entire goddamn book.
Some sort of private detective as well, or whatever. Like, he just made a whole other copy of the entire, like 2 entire copies of the Death Note, I guess, overnight, or something like that. Just very forged the penmanship so that Mikami wouldn't even know. And now they're like, okay, so Light, what was that reaction there, buddy? And Aizawa's like, no, it's over there, Light. And Light's trying to act like, no, I'm being framed. I don't know this person at all. Nier has just made a random other person show up to convince all of you guys that I'm Kira. But they're not buying it. Aizawa's like, we heard you.
So good, though.
Yeah, but Aizawa's just like, we heard you.
Bro, you literally just invited him by name.
Yeah, you run him in. You said I won. Like, we know it's over, Light. We gotta get the handcuffs, boys.
It's really stupid that he says I won, but it's completely fits his character because this is a show of ego. It is a show of pride on the line. So he would not want Nier. He already let L die without the satisfaction. Like, he just had that smug smile at him.
Yep.
But if he had the chance, he would have absolutely said it, because that's what he did to the first woman, the FBI agent.
Well, that's because I'm Kira. What? You don't want to use my phone anymore? He's like mocking her as she's walking away to go kill herself because of the notebook. Like,
because it is admittedly a baller move.
It is an interesting show of power, I will admit.
He's just like, well, Nier, it's over. I've won. This world is mine now. But turns out
it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Yep. Nier has replaced the books again, and Nier actually just has the real notebook on him, and Nier's just like, I've been able to see the Shinigami behind you guys the entire time. Hello, Shinigami. What's your name? Ryuk? Alright, so Ryuk, there's like 2 rules in this notebook that I feel like are bullshit. Are they bullshit? And Ryuk's like, yeah, they're bullshit. Fuck it. Oh, well, that explains a lot of things.
He technically says he can confirm or deny, like, after things play out.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, Ryuk is just there at that point, just like, yeah, Light's pretty much also lost. But then we get a whole speech from Light. We get the yes, I am Kira speech, which I think goes for like most of the chapter, where he's just saying all this stuff about like, yeah, I'm Kira, but you can't do anything about it because now I'm the god of this world. It's because of me that crime is down. If you do anything to me, the whole world would be in chaos or whatever. Like, I am justice. Because of me, I'm able to get rid of the core evil of this world. It's all thanks to me. If anybody else got that notebook, they wouldn't be able to do half the shit I've been able to do, okay? I am the only reason why any of this is possible, and I am justice, and I am to be the god of the new world, and you all have to listen to me. And he was just like, no, you're just a mass murderer. Like, and Nier's just like, I'm gonna be real with you. If you were like a normal person and maybe wrote a couple names on it and felt guilty about it, like, that's one thing, okay? But what you've done is just crazy behavior. You are not here to serve all these other people. You're not here to make the world a better place. You're just an egotistical fucking maniac, and like, you have deluded yourself into believing you are God. And then after that moment, we just get Light looking like the most pathetic man imaginable. Which, this is where it deviates from the anime ending. Because here, the manga ending has him just in that warehouse surrounded by all of them, just basically, like, first he tries to write their names in the Death Note paper in his watch. He tries to like distract her, tries to be slick about it, but like they clearly know what's up. Matsuda shoots the like pen he's using out of his hand. Very cool. Then Light's trying to like write it in blood, and then they like stop that too. And like he almost gets to writing Nier's name at least as like a final thing, I guess. But it's just him then crying about like I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Where's Takeda? Where's Misa? And it's like, okay, you made Takeda give up the Death Note. She can't help you anymore. You killed Takeda. And he's like, Mikami, do something, you idiot. Mikami, you're supposed to help me. Mikami's just there on the side, just being like, you're not God. you're not God at all. You're just a fucking... I forget what he says or whatever. But you're like, basically, yeah, he calls him a scum or whatever. Mikami's just like, you're just as bad as them or something. This is the implication I got from it. So Mikami's given up on him too. The difference between this stuff and then I think the anime is... He is pathetic in this scene, but he's like less pathetic. He actually, I think if I recall right, runs away from them at some point, and he's bleeding out though because he's been shot, I think more than once. And
but he gets away, and it's like it's supposed to give him some dignity because it's not happening right around with everybody there.
Yeah, he has like a moment on a staircase that's supposed to make it look like he dies more peacefully in the anime. And he even has like a flash, like a memory of like him and like Light together, not Light, him and L together in like those final moments in the anime, which I'm sure all the fanfiction writers were screaming about. But it was like a different vibe with that ending, where it felt like, you know, he did everything, but the Death Note had just corrupted this man. And actually, he was trying to do, you know, he was evil with what he was doing, but like it was just the notebook that might have been corrupting him. Maybe it was like the implication you might feel from that ending in the anime. Here, it's just no. This is just a pathetic man who was just convinced that he could become God. It like really hammers home how this is just a pathetic loser towards the end who like thought he was so smart that he could outwit everybody with this, and this is what he is like in the end. He is just scared and crying and like begging Ryuk to like write everybody's names in the notebook, and Ryuk's just like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I'll write someone's name on there, but it's not their name, buddy. It's gonna be your name. Why? I'm not waiting around for however many years you're gonna be in jail, buddy. Your story's over here. So everybody's trying to shoot Ryuk, but Ryuk's like, you can't touch me, so I'm gonna write Light's name now, and then I'm gonna leave. Bye, guys. They
start shooting him because they think that Ryuk's gonna write their names.
Yeah, they start. He's
like, oh no, this
Don't
is
worry.
Just for him.
This is just him because I'm not sticking around.
I love the detail of because Ryuk can just decide when to be transparent whatever, face through him. But at the end, he's like, "No, I'll be solid enough so you can grab onto my leg."
Yes.
In desperate attempt.
That was so good.
Ryuk knows what showmanship is, okay?
Oh yeah.
It's like, listen, you provided me some good entertainment for a while, buddy, but now it's over.
Very cool. Well, end the line.
You're not doing much anymore, so this is where your story ends, pal.
He's like, I don't want you rotting away in prison where I have to wait for your life to be over. You're gonna end it here.
I'm pretty sure that was also his reaction in the anime too. He also writes his name down in the anime, but it was like when he's on the staircase, thinks he's gonna get away, and Ryuk's just like, no, you're gonna get arrested, and I'm not waiting all this time for this shit, so I'm just writing your name down. Yeah, so like, there's like most of the details of the endings are the same, except for like that like presentation of it, and then also I'm pretty sure all of the epilogue that happens afterwards was not in the anime at all. There was like the information about Mikami a year later killing himself, that never happened. Nier still working with the investigation squad because there happened to be a case in the area or whatever. That wasn't a thing. Also, was Nier representing themselves as L now? I forget if that was a detail as well. Okay, so he's now assumed L's name. So they're now L. And then Matsuda and was it Aizawa? Maybe it was Aizawa, maybe it was somebody else. They were having a whole chat about a conspiracy theory.
I think.
Yeah, Ide or whatever. They were having a chat about Matsuda's theory that Nier may have written Mikami's name in the Death Note to get him to kill himself, and that Nier did it potentially to control Mikami's actions in the final confrontation, perhaps as well. Something to that nature might have been might have happened. I think that question was proposed as did Nier solve it the right way, or did the notebook corrupt Nier as well in the end? Or how did we actually solve these things? And I think it's like left up as like a thing for readers to wonder about or whatever. But I don't know.
So are we just assuming they never announced like, oh, we found who he was and this is who he was? Just nope, Kira's dead. Get your shit together, world.
Yeah, I don't think they said anything about his death, his capture, any of it. I think they left it.
I think they basically just had Kira disappear, and then everybody.
Yeah.
That's probably why there's still those worshippers.
But I mean, like, I feel like that is probably the best way to go about it, realistically, because even if you
100%.
Because if you bring up, oh, we captured him, or oh, we killed him, people will find out who he is.
Yeah.
And then you have an idolatry of this this guy,
This guy.
Or you'll have people that are like, oh no, he's not actually dead. They're lying. They're making him up. They're making this pariah out of this random guy. They
doing who knows what.
So I'm pretty sure they left it as just who knows?
Who
we
could
know,
say?
But the others don't.
They'll never know. And then we get some like final shot of the Kira worshippers, which supposedly this is not Misa. I immediately thought that this was Misa because I'm just thinking like, what the fuck else happened to Misa? But like, because it's like a whole group of Kira worshippers on like each side, and then it's just one woman walking down the line. I'm thinking like, okay, so then that has to be Misa. That has to be like Misa leading some sort of Kira worshippers, as like the last one alive. But apparently this is just a random Kira worshipper. And I guess the implication with the final shot with that is supposed to be like, Kira might be dead, but his influence is still there. So maybe something could happen in the future. How did this change the world? Fuck if I know, because we didn't really get to see much of the world, and it's being you know what we did get to see this week get affected by the world? As soon as a spokesperson for Kira dies, every news station is immediately like, "Hey, pick us next! Pick us next, Kira." That was was what we got this week. Which, like, I thought was an interesting little detail, but like I kind of wanted more of those. I wanted to see how the actual world is being changed. I didn't want to be told, "Oh, crime rates are going down now. Kira's been changing the world." Has he though? I don't really know much about that.
Okay, but like, considering how the world in Platinum End was presented, I don't think it would be the most thought out way of depicting anything.
Okay, well, Platinum End is a whole creature.
Platinum End was something.
Listen.
Okay, but that was by him.
It is, but this Platinum End, I won't get into the full details of Platinum End because we don't need to make this whole thing. But Platinum End was like their attempt at doing another kind of Death Note type story with like established supernatural powers and like rules associated with them. But like we turned it into a death game battle royale instead, and they clearly didn't know what to do with that towards the end.
They didn't know what to do with that towards the beginning.
That I mean,
or the middle.
They at least knew at the beginning to have an interesting antagonist for it, but unfortunately with Death Note as well, it was like, oh, well, we got to kill them halfway fucking through the story, because why not? Okay, all right, cool, fuck it. What am I to do? Okay, but yeah, Death Note. How did we feel about how the warehouse scene finale here ended in general? Were we satisfied with how Kira was depicted at the end? How Light was depicted at the end? Were we satisfied with how we defeated him? How did we feel about it in general?
I liked how pathetic he was.
Yeah, it was extremely fitting as an end.
Yeah.
The patheticness was great. Yeah. I liked him not having the dignity that he has in the anime more so. Having it happen with everybody was like, okay, yeah, fuck it.
After this whole big speech by him too, it was great.
Yeah. Like actually, like, fuck this guy.
I think it should have been more violent, honestly.
Yeah,
I was actually expecting like a full
good
shootouts at the end.
Yeah.
Hey, you
start with Matsuda shooting him. But
you know what that hand injury aligns with?
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Shut up.
Right. I'm confused.
Wow.
And you will remain that way.
God damn it, Andy, you're the worst.
Yeah, it was I thought it was a very satisfying end to thing. I don't know if I necessarily like how we decided to like do the like weird swapping of the Death Notes, but like we knew that they were going to swap the Death Notes, but actually we swapped the real Death Notes. I don't know if I liked that little bit of it, or at least how it was presented here in the manga at least, but like I love the scenes that happened afterwards. Once we actually have confirmed this is Kira and now we're getting him to admit it too, and he does his little speech, I like everything that happened afterwards. I don't know if I cared for the epilogue stuff. I feel like the epilogue stuff is more so meant to add a lot more thematic questions and thoughts than the series was ever really trying to have the reader philosophically like consider. It tried to make it a more philosophical thing at the end than it actually ever was.
It uses those concepts as set dressing. It has no interest in actually engaging with any of the thought behind the concepts that it presents.
Yeah. I was even thinking, like, in most of Light's speech, like, this is, like, an interesting speech for him to make, because all of these are, like, principles that you never, ever really have him think about, ever. So you know he's just saying all this shit because he's just bullshitting about his feeling righteous or whatever. But, like, you know, it is one of those things, too, though, where, like, if we were seeing, you know, thoughts like that from people, more consideration for like the actions we're doing other than just trying to win the game, maybe we would be able to have these sort of questions in the epilogue and have it actually feel like it serves a purpose here and is not just meant to feel smarter than the series actually was with that. I don't know. Yeah. And also, I will say the anime, I think I liked the presentation of that whole final scene with like the speech, I mean. I think I like how the manga presents the death of Light more, but I think you get the aura of like him standing up and laughing in the warehouse, and then thinking like he could still win somehow, or like thinking that he's defeated Nier and stuff. I think there was one part in the anime where like maybe it was this, or maybe I was confusing it with something else, where it like everybody else freezes and he's having like his own internal monologue and walking around the room and laughing evilly during the scene and before he goes back to the body, unless I'm thinking of something else entirely. But stuff like that. But okay, so that was the ending scene for Death Note. Now, first we're gonna ask. Well, we already went through. How do people feel about? We already know how people feel about the ending. How do people feel about all the stuff leading up to it? Was this week's reading in general? Was it fine? I felt like a lot of it up until the actual warehouse scene was like monotonous and didn't really.
It was so fucking boring.
It was like a lot
monotonous.
of like text.
It's
that
just
took
like,
forever.
I get it. You've said this like 5 times now.
Yeah.
Please just move on.
It would
I
be
was
one thing
glazing
if all
over
the
some of
text
that.
was like new stuff, but they repeat so much of it. It's just the same thing over and over and over again.
And it's just
Once
talking through stuff we're just gonna
Mellow-
go through again later anyways. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Once Mellow came in, I was like, oh yes, finally.
Oh, do something
Finally, a
cool.
wild card.
Interesting. And then he dies immediately, and I'm like, did your editor just tell you to tie up some loose ends before you finish this? Like, what was that?
Speaking of loose ends.
Well, meanwhile, we just completely forget about Misa. That loose end we can ignore.
That, and for the best, honestly.
Yeah.
Good for her.
I'd say leave that to the fanfics, but those fanfics are not going to be about Misa.
No, they're not.
Now,
we need Ryukishi.
I know this is the last week's readings, but what were some of the new rules that we got established this week that were interesting?
I don't care.
Shadow's been like the rules memorizing person, and even Shadow's given up. Shadow's just like, fuck this shit now.
Dude, he snapped.
I will say there were several chapters where you just didn't get any new rules
guys,
added.
wrap it up.
No, it's just no more interesting.
No, you know what? I'm really glad we finally got a rule that impacted the story, which is that no one whose name is written in the Death Note can come back. We know Light's gone.
No. There was also the rule about there may be Death Notes with white or red covers, but they work the same as the black cover. That was important to know. That was also important to know.
I'm glad we finally found what can break Shadow.
It didn't even break me. I'm look, man. I've had a rough day today.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, you had to read Death Notes.
there was like I remember there was like clarification of what happens when the Death
Shadow.
Notes burn, and most of the answer was just like the person still dies. The person still dies. The person still dies. It's like, okay, well.
Okay. Now with all these Death Note rules, I have one question for all of you.
Yeah, what's up?
What happens if you misspell the cause of death?
Probably just heart attack. That one's easy. Come on. Come on now. I thought this was a challenge here.
Unless it's a valid misspelling, in which case just something humorous, I guess.
You end up on a sewer slide.
Give us an example.
Yeah, does the Death Note recognize TikTok lingo?
What the fuck?
Does it
know what
adapt
verity
to the
means.
modern world the way that
Must
Jumanji
adapt
game
to modern
does?
language since it's
I-
been around for so long.
Is it a fan of Morbius?
Imagine
perhaps?
finding the Death Note and it's just filled with people unaliving themselves.
Oh yeah, there was also the confirmation of like it doesn't matter what medical tests you do, you can't confirm if somebody has Shinigami eyes. You just can't, apparently.
I mean, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, it's like, well, I didn't think that was gonna be a thing anyway.
Yeah.
They're supernatural.
I mean, I like the confirmation, but I was a little late, bud.
Towards the end, we just stopped writing rules for the Death Note. We just started writing like rules of life in general. It's like all humans without exception eventually die. It's like, wow, thanks. But we did go into the whole after they die, the place they go into is nothingness, and then it does like a flashback at some point to when Ryuk tells Kira Light in the early days, and you see like very young face Light, who's like in the early stages of corruption, and he's just like, oh, when somebody uses the Death Note, they don't go to heaven or hell. Well, that's easy. It's because it's the same for anybody who doesn't use the Death Note too. There is no heaven or hell, right? It's like Ryuk's just like, you're an interesting kid. That's exactly right. We don't have heaven or hell. Just nothing in the end.
I'm gonna say something that is gonna make you all so pissed off at me.
Yeah, what's that?
But it's like when you compare Sam Winchester to who he was at the end of Supernatural to when he was at the beginning of Supernatural. Because
so you're like,
he is.
you're saying Supernatural stuff, and you're saying like it's like when he's like towards the end, and I'm just like, I have no understanding of what that feels like at all. I don't know what that's supposed to. What am I supposed to glean from this?
He's like such a, because Supernatural ran for so long, Jared Padalecki is a fundamentally different looking person at the beginning than he is at the end. It's
he
wild.
Starts as a golden retriever, he ends it in a Party City wig.
No, it's so, he literally, like, if you go to the beginning of the show, he's like in college. He looks like he's like 17 maybe, and at the end he's like 40. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
He has a wife with no face, even though he had an established love interest. That it's not her.
Kira also has a wife with no face. We just don't talk about
Andy,
Misa.
I hate to break it to you, but he was actually like 40 by the time they wrapped up. Like
what? No, that can't be.
15 years will do it to you. when you start a show at like 24 and end at 15 years later.
You guys are telling me time passes?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Oh, tell me we get older as time goes on.
Well, I don't know. It's not a rule written in the Death Note, so I don't actually know if that happens.
I think the world would be a fundamentally different place if Supernatural had ended after season 5 like it was supposed to.
Like it was supposed to.
I think things would be very different.
Will it be better or worse?
Better. So much better.
Yeah.
2016
arguably, yeah.
year.
I feel like internet culture would be different in strange ways.
I'd be interested in seeing and experiencing the difference.
Same.
Well, unfortunately, we're all doomed to be stuck here.
Forever?
Homestuck.
Time only moves forward.
Homestuck here. Oh my god.
We're homestuck here.
Homestuck timeline.
All right. Well, at the end of our at the end of our Death Note journey, our 12-volume journey throughout all of this, the time has come for us to go through everybody's overall thoughts of the series. Here's how we're going to do this as usual. I'm going to go through the list starting from the top. You're going to tell me your general thoughts about Death Note, the manga, and then give it a score out of 10. How did you feel about Death Note, the manga, Apple Tech?
So, I don't think it fell apart when L died.
Huh.
I think it fell apart when they started letting the Shinigami have, like, an active role in the story.
Huh.
Because at first, they were just, like, props.
Yeah.
But the moment they had, like, a thing to do that wasn't between the story beats, nah. Stopped being about, like, people arguing with each other, and you just couldn't predict shit anymore.
Yeah.
I wanted to call it the ref
Not
on
to say
Rem
that
several
L
times.
dying wasn't a fucking mistake, but...
This legal judge?
Like Rem especially was, like, just going wild with that. I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Rem, the dude who ripped off a bunch of helmets.
Hey, no, don't do Saito like that. I love him. He's so dumb.
And Ryuk's just like, hey, if you just let them go through, you'd get your notebook back faster. It's like, oh yeah.
He's so stupid. I love him.
Yeah.
He's beautiful in my heart.
Like, it had really good moments, but there was also just so much bullshit to read through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very wordy.
Overall, like 6 out of 10.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Ari Misa Heart. Oh, new name change right for the end. What was your thoughts on Death Note the manga?
Yeah, I thought of it at the very beginning. It's just so stupid. Like, I can't believe this is what a lot of people recommend as like a gateway anime because it's just so stupid. They treat it like it's so smart, like it's a 5D chess. None of the characters are likable except Misa. All of the guys are just the same. Literally the art is the only redeeming quality of it, unless you just want something goofy. But even then, it just gets tiring with how much they repeat themselves and not add anything to it. It's 5 out of 10. The art's
Wow.
great. It's just it probably should be lower, but I'm just kind of like it was short at least. It did have some memorable moments. Art's great. Misa's great. Yeah, Aztec. It's one of those that's like, wow, when you're 14, this is the best shit ever. Guys, have you seen Ella and Light's cat and mouse chess game? Oh my god. And then like you're 25 and you're like,
This
what
isn't
the
chess, this is
hell
Mineko
is
chess.
going on? This is not Umineko chess. This is checkers.
This is basically Umineko.
This is the checkers you find at Cracker Barrel, okay? This is nothing.
This is checkers with chess pieces.
We didn't even get any chess iconography in all of Death Note, I don't think. Jot that down. No chess
so
showed up.
Uninspired. Like there's no I don't feel like there's really any kind of like media references in it, like where he drew this inspiration from. Like you don't even get simple things like chess in here. The only thing that it is pulling from is just some philosophy class or book that Ohba read at some point. And that's it. It just feels very lifeless. You know what? 3 out of 10.
All right, you understand. You get this amount of
damn. We're lowering at 2 whole points now.
Jesus. Like someone else, okay? It's coming fresh right off the noggin.
It's short. Art's great. That's about it.
And your final score?
Stupid. I don't know. Let's go 4 out of 10. We'll put it in the middle.
All right.
Hey, at least I didn't do a decimal.
Damn. All right. Well, thank you so much for that. Shadow, or Lan Yagami, what did you think of Death Note, the manga?
I like it very much. Honestly, this could have been like half as long. I feel like you could have had like half in the length of the story.
Yeah, almost like there was a halfway point with an ending.
Almost.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryuzaki Borg, how you been holding up these last 6 volumes?
I'll get to my point, okay? When it's my turn. It's my turn. Anything else, Sean?
Do you have all these rules that they introduce that like don't even like get close to being acknowledged? Like I don't mind like some just being like, okay, this is why Light can't do this. Like, you know, like you write the name wrong 4 times, they become immune to it. Like that's fine. You don't even mention that one within the text. They just like mention a rule in the offhand. Sure, but like what the fuck? Like it's still in the Death Note. You got 490 days. What?
You can't sell it, or else
people
both
were
the
immune to
seller
it when they reach it, like 100,
120, 102,
124.
Something like that.
It's a number, okay? It's a number. It's a weird number.
It's like that has to. That's like it's a Chekhov's gun that has to come up. But no,
the real problem was the fact that they decided to make that a rule in the first place. That's the issue.
You have to make it a rule. Like you just like not do that.
Or all the rules about like little kids having it, and it's like when was that going to come up?
Okay, so actually
Death Note.
that does I guess not as a toddler, but it does come up in one of the side stories where Ryuk can't directly hand a book. He has to drop it in front of a kid to be able to get the kid to pick it up. He can't hand it. So in two of the side stories, it's Ryuk giving people the Death Note. In front of one of them, which is like
Why
this
does he
grade
love
school
to do
kid,
this?
he has to drop it in front of the kid. But to the other one, who's like an adult, he's able to just like tap him with it and be like, "Hey, here, take this." And they're like, okay." It's really funny.
Okay, that one's validated existence for me. Thank you, Andy.
Were most of the rules just relevant to the side stories?
Not even.
Or were the side stories like written after the rules were to justify them?
The rules are things like I just decided to write this as a rule for no fucking reason, and then like when we needed to make some more money writing a couple extra bonus side story chapters, we decided to actually use them there. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Like, God damn, if only there was a story that made use of these rules. It's almost like that's the point of making a fictional story that has rules, is that you're supposed to use them. So, like, I don't know, fucking 4.1, fuck you, champ.
I'm gonna round down to 4. Thank you very much. Alright, so thank you for that, Shadow. Nyagami Bacon, what did you think of Death Note, the manga?
It was bad. It was pretty bad. Like I think that the Familiar of Zero light novel is more cohesive than this. And that's saying a lot.
So we should read that next, is what you're telling me.
No, God, no. No. The tough part about it is, like, obviously, as I've established, like, very much my relationship with a lot of the media we consume, or I consume, is with the fandom. Like, how much does the fandom contribute? How much can I get from the fandom? And sometimes that does dictate how much I enjoy a series. I can admit that. The amount of scenes that would have been good for a fandom were vastly outweighed by everything else that I hated. So I couldn't even go through this with the idea of, oh, I'm going to find all of these fanfics and this fan art. Like, I'm going to find all of this stuff that I'm going to like, because every single bit was then followed up by or tainted with something that was so nonsensical that it ruined the experience for me. So I came out of this a worse person. I think.
I don't know, Andy, some of the Death Note memes I shared.
My life,
the Death Note corrupts, what can I say?
My life has been negatively impacted. This made me a worse writer. Consuming this has impacted my ability to write.
Well, you know what not to do now, right?
That said, art, fantastic. Wish they maybe had gotten a little more raunchy with it, because obviously it looks like it's supposed to be a yaoi, but it's not, but like it looks like it.
Well, all yaoi is based on this, which is why it looks like a yaoi.
So,
but also it's not good for yaoi. Like, I'm sorry, but they don't really have any chemistry. They just don't. I'm sorry to break your little AO3 fan fiction binge, but like they just don't have chemistry. They really don't.
Damn.
Yeah, we can have that conversation later. But so, like, the art's really good.
I wanted more yaoi.
And like, the fandom's okay. I think that obviously I'm not like in its heyday back in like the early aughts. So I can't necessarily say that like the experience that I'm getting is the experience that I would have gotten like 12, 15 years ago. But the fact that there is not enough of the content in the fandom that I wish there was does unfortunately bring it from what would have been probably a 4 to a 3. Out of 10.
Damn, all right.
No, like already, like I'm with Ari. The primary redeeming quality was the art, but like the fact that I then subsequently can't get anything out of it in like outside of the canon is like that's not fun. Like that doesn't make for a good experience for me, at least. The side stories were really good. Genuinely, I think that everybody should read those because those were really fun. But like, if we're talking just the canon manga, probably a 3.
All right. Well, damn. All right, thank you so much for that. Next up is me, Ryuzaki Borg, aka Wolfborg, aka Chap. So, I will say, first of all, I personally disagree with the idea that this is a horrible gateway anime. I specifically think it is a good gateway anime, not in the sense that it is good writing, but it gets people away from their traditional anime, the battle shonens, right? It is...
Oh, so we'll just give them a different shonen.
Well, yeah. That's literally the point. The point is to get them away from generic battle shonen, and instead it's like a cat and mouse detective drama instead. That's how you get them started.
My tab
and
was
then
that you're replacing one shonen with a different shonen.
Yeah, I know. This is what I was explaining. I'm literally explaining that more. I got the joke. I got it. That's the point. The point is to get them away from battle shonen so that they can get into this other type of shonen, and then they can understand that there is like other stories that aren't just fights with anime. There isn't. You don't have to just read pirate fucking adventures. You don't have to just read fucking Naruto or whatever. You can experience other stories beyond that. And then
you
we
can
got
experience other
rom-coms.
bad media in shonen.
Okay, all right, so we all know it's part of your evil scheme to get us to all read rom-coms, okay? And it's not working on us.
Hey, I'm just saying those are an option too, but this is... I don't think that it's a horrible gateway anime. I'm sorry. That's my opinion on the matter, okay? Doesn't necessarily mean that the writing is that great. I do agree. Like, the writing in many areas, like, especially in the second half. My whole thing with this series, and this is an opinion that I feel like most of the world holds, is that, like, if you are there for the first half of Death Note, you can definitely appreciate more the interest that goes on with the story up until L dies. After L dies, I'm so fucking bored. There's like some cool things that'll happen with like mellow stuff, but like it's like really boring in the anime up until only until like the final warehouse scene. But like in the manga form, it's even more boring because now I'm reading like so much fucking text that I already understood the point of several times already. The second half is far worse in the manga. It is a slog, a miserable experience in the second half, and it's only really redeemed with whatever comedy bits you get between Mello and Cedo, and then like the final warehouse scene. Those are the only redeeming things about it. Mello is a cool character we didn't really do anything with. Nier is boring as shit, and it's just a worse copy of L. Like, everything about L's story was like interesting except for the whole like confinement thing, which lasts way longer here in the manga than it did with the the anime or whatever. Like, I like so much of this story and how like goofy it is with like the back and forth cat and mouse drama of stuff back when Light was just like trying to do the mind games directly with L. This whole second half was terrible, and like reading it in the manga makes it like so much worse. Like, oh my god, it literally, it just Skype calls at the end. It was so but I do enjoy the art the whole way through. I did appreciate that we got to I appreciated Misa a lot as a character until like we just decided to ignore her in the second half completely, and I was like, well, this sucks. I want more Misa. What the fuck? But yeah, and then obviously you have all the light misogyny stuff. Like what was in it? Yeah, like what score do I give it though? I'm trying to think if I give it like a 6. Maybe I'd give it a 6. I do think in the end I like the anime more in so many areas except for the final ending scene. I think the final ending scene stuff I liked more in the manga because it really hammers home how much of a pathetic person Light is in the end. But so much else about the anime I appreciated way more. So for the manga, I'd probably give it a 6. The anime would probably get a 7 out of me. But the manga, I would say a 6. I think so. That's me. That's my take. Also, yeah, I don't know what the deal was with all the extra rules other than bonus memes. I don't know why they had to be all hyper-specific. Also felt like it literally just patch notes out of nowhere at times. I don't know. But whatever.
There can only be
fine.
6 Death Notes at a time. You can only, and one can only give it to 3 different people.
All right, but that's my thoughts. Next up, thrice misspelled hashtag not dead yet middle finger emoji. What did you think of Death Note the manga?
I also agree. It went downhill after L died. It was such a missed opportunity to introduce Nier and Mello, and it's like, oh yeah, they've always been in competition for these like puzzle games and everything that they've ever done, and it's like, okay, but that didn't go anywhere, like at
They're
all.
kind of doing their own thing.
It sure didn't.
It's just like, yeah, that's what this is gonna be now, and it's like, okay, but then Mello kind of just disappeared for like a quarter of the story, so cool, and then showed up and did good by accident, I guess.
For like 1,000 coincidences.
Yes, and it was just it got to be like it had the problem in the first half, but it was so much worse in the second half where everybody would just get long-winded and be very repetitive about their information. And it's just, I know we mentioned it earlier, the Nier when he was like, well, L, who is Light Yagami, who is Kira. And he would, every single time he was talking about him, he would say all three. And it was just like, we get it. You can pick one to call him. You don't have to say all three every time. We get that you think that. Or like anytime him and Light would speak, they would just be constantly going like, oh yes, I know because you think that I'm Kira. And it's like, guys, we know. Get to the point. It was so long-winded. The misogyny was just, God, it would just come like not out of nowhere because we knew to expect it from the beginning, but it was just like it's so unnecessary and childish and like I'm I'm glad I read the series because I know that it's like one of the big ones that everybody knows about, but it's just frustrating.
Yeah. Like I think I'm glad I read it too, just to have said I read it.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Like I'm in the process of watching through the anime with a friend because I think she likes it. And it's like I think that's part a lot of where the popularity comes from because I think like so many people were like tweens and teens when that came out. And it does at this point feel very nostalgic and it's silly and like it has its funny moments and that has a lot of appeal to it. Plus it just being animated like that, it makes it feel like it like is progressing more.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's like it's halting its own momentum so often. Like just as it starts to like have like an interesting moment, they just get into their over explaining of everything again, and it's like, guys, please. My favorite chapter was the chapter where there were no speech bubbles and it was just like speed running those 3 days before
yes.
the meeting or whatever.
I was like, why couldn't we do this more often? I don't need to rehash the whole fucking plan again. Please, just do this.
Exactly. It's like when I saw that and realized that it was going on for like more than 2 panels, it's like, thank God.
Yeah, thank God I could rest for a bit and just enjoy the art. Thank fucking God.
Exactly. I think overall I'll give it a 5 because it's so frustrating. I see why it was popular, but it's just reading it as an adult is so infuriating.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that, Thrice. Violet Misa Stan. Oh, another name change. What was your opinions on Death Note, the manga?
I've been meaning to read Death Note for a while. I had people telling me oh, you should read it because it's better than the anime, when I watched the anime forever ago and came back saying it was okay. They were right. I did like the manga better. What they didn't tell me is that neither of them is very good. I liked aspects of the manga more, even though it was more boring to get through at times, especially after L died. But I definitely liked, especially like the ending part with Light better in the manga. I think the anime has more merits for being like funnier at times. I think altogether it's fine as like an intro anime. It's maybe baby's first thinking about the death penalty, maybe. It is getting more into like, oh, let's have a thinking shonen instead of a battle shonen, and they have an interesting time with that. And I did think there were enjoyable moments, especially toward the beginning. Like I had fun with the like, L, did you know Shimigamis love apples and all that? But um I think most of the reason it caught on was like aesthetics wise. So like great art. I think the art was the main draw. Like people were seeing crazy looking Shimigami and goth girls and all that, and they were like, this is actually like peak aesthetics. And I do kind of think that's a huge reason it caught on. I think if it didn't look like this, it would not have gotten popular. Um, I would probably give it a 5 out of 10. It's pretty mid. Like I said, it's okay for like a starting anime probably because it's like the intro to a lot of that stuff, but it's not that interesting now. And personally, I thought it was pretty mid even back when I had it as a starting anime. Yeah, memes from it can be funny because it's nostalgic, but I don't feel like it adds much. It's more of a starting point.
Okay.
Also misogyny.
True. Thank you so much for that.
Part of the story.
Thank you so much for that, Violet Misa Stan. Women apologist. What did you think of Death Note, the manga?
Yeah, it was fine. No.
it appreciated women, right?
Yeah, no, it was a huge fan. Yeah, no, I mean, it's,
and struggling to think of nice things to say.
What you really think.
Ultimately, I think what I feel is that I can see conceptually how this got popular in the way that it did. I do think the aesthetic has a huge part to do with it. You're absolutely right. The shipping definitely also has a huge part to play in that, even if there isn't anything there. Anyway, there's so much here that's like, this could be good if there was something. If there was writing. If they remembered to write it.
Damn.
But they didn't. And instead it's just really bad. So yeah, I'm just gonna say like 3 out of 10 and agree there. Yeah. That's it.
This might be the worst average we've ever had since Chap started asking for rankings.
Familiar of Zero got better than this.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. We didn't rate Sailor Moon very high either, because that ended up having its own problems.
Right. Jesus Christ!
Well, I think that was still like an average of like 6 to 7 out of 10.
6, 7?
Wasn't it?
Well, 6, 7.
Yay!
Hey, by the way, I haven't been keeping track of this, by the way. For the maybe somebody should figure all this, or maybe I should, or whatever. But the current average for this one, I just did the math, is a score of 4.5. Because there's 8 of us here doing the scores for it.
Yo, glowing recommendation right there.
Yeah, seriously.
Me and Aztec gave it the highest scores at 6, and then Andy and Andy gave the lowest scores at 3, and then there's like 4s and 5s in the middle. So it gets like a 4.5 out of just us at least. I mean, again,
Do you
fantastic.
Again,
remember which series you started asking at? Out of curiosity.
I think I've been doing it since the beginning. I think. I
think we might.
It was either at the beginning or it was at our second series, which was Summertime Rendering. I don't remember if I did it for Fire Force, but I'm pretty sure I did start from Summertime Rendering.
In Fire Punch?
Okay.
Oh yeah, Fire
Punch are two very
Fire Force
different
is a very
series.
different. Okay, that one definitely would have gotten
been
lower
the lowest.
scores. Okay. But
no, I would have rated it highly.
Again, I really do think like some of these scores would probably be higher if it was the anime. Maybe not much higher, but I don't think the average would be as. It truly does feel like the manga is so much more of a chore to read through. It's just
harder to get through for sure.
Yeah, it's just so much.
I'm sorry. Why were Nier and Mello L's successors instead of like people who had like family members or something killed by Kira, who then just took up this mantle of trying to get rid of Kira?
Yeah.
That actually is one thing I was thinking about when sorry, this is like tangentially related, but that is related to something I was thinking about when it was talking about the crime rate going down. Is I was wondering if less people were reporting crimes because they were worried that Kira would kill those people. Because a lot of like crimes happen, like a lot of certain crimes happen from people abuse.
Yeah.
Spousal abuse and all that, and it's like a lot of that goes unreported in general because
Kira approves of it.
They still love that person and like don't or they love that person or have some sort of mixed feelings towards that person and don't want them to like necessarily be punished. I was like thinking the crime rate could have gone down because just straight up that wasn't getting reported and people were in like worse danger because of it.
Yeah.
Also, would Kira himself not like make up the difference in terms of that crime rate? He's murdering like millions of people.
Hey, we're redefining what is a crime.
Now. Yeah. So you got non-crime crimes, and then Kira crimes.
This is the death penalty. Okay, that's not a crime anymore.
That's true. The state sanctioned it, so it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're working together. I'm pretty sure it was the cops that like shot, like some of the actual police that are there in Japan that shot the fuck out of Matt, saying like, we're not messing around. You fucked with Kira. By the way, I forgot to mention earlier. Why did they at some point like Takeda went from just being like newscaster Kira supporter to like looking like she's walking around as a mob wife, like whenever she was in public. What was going on with that? Were you saying? What did you say?
She essentially was one.
I mean, I was thinking that, but like also, like we're just like, no, I have Misa. Okay, I'm getting married to Misa. Which, by the way, there was a whole plot point this week where it's like Misa's gonna announce on stage that she's getting married at the concert. Oh, sorry, you've been kidnapped. You don't get to go there anymore. What? Wait, what? Why do we bring that up?
That was also kind of fucked up. Because
that was like brought up several times too.
I don't know
if Light.
I don't know if this is just me caring about Misa more than the author did, but like that was like
yes,
that was like really rude because that really could have fucked up Misa's like work as like a celebrity. Oh, you found him? Oh no, that's ours. Okay, because like that could have fucked up like Misa's work as a celebrity because like now she's no-showed this huge major like national if not international performance and they just like didn't give a shit. Hey, What?
Andy, you thought about Misa. That's already putting more
That's a
care
lot of
into
effort.
her than Ohba did.
Wasn't it stated that it's something she kind of routinely does anyway?
What?
Just
I wouldn't
not
As a-
showing up for things she's scheduled
I
for.
couldn't tell if that
Oh.
was a serious comment or if they were just making a joke about her being flippant as a woman.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Where's the screen cap
Well,
of
see,
like
just
going,
like
why are
light
all women like
Misa
this?
wishes she was late.
Isn't
I'll
reliable.
get it.
Why are all
Alright.
women like this?
Why are all women like this? Misogyny out of 10, I guess. I don't know. What is
Misogyny out of
Right.
10?
like I feel like all of our scores had a point knocked off for the misogyny too. Why is it just there? It just was random at times.
That's
Okay,
the real
tried
Death Note
the
ever.
rules
It's
very
just
silly.
misogyny out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay, yeah, Nier, go ahead and tell me. Oh, why are you just calling like this woman an idiot all of a sudden?
Because
It's like, Nier, I was trying to listen to what you were saying.
Yeah, and it's just like literally all the men in the series are just like that because to Ohba, that's just normal. That's just how men behave. Why are all men like this? That's what we should be asking.
Why are all women
Damn.
like this?
No, I mean
Come on.
that's a legitimate thought that I had early on. Like I was trying to give the writer the benefit of the doubt because he's just
Nope,
like
I wasn't.
a fucking like it's just a fucking like school shooter ass character. That's a common thing in like every mass shooting is misogyny is this huge factor in every single one.
Yeah.
Oh, Chap, you also asked if you would recommend it to other people. Was another one of your ending questions?
I mean, I feel like from these scores, a lot of people would not. I will say, again, I'd recommend the anime and maybe like the first half of the manga, but I don't think the second half is worth it.
Edgy 13, 14-year-old who was asking me about anime.
If I hated somebody,
I'd
And I
be like,
wanted
yeah,
them to
watch
look
the anime. And don't listen when people tell you the manga's way better.
Take this Death Note.
Like the anime, I still think I would still recommend to people, but like the first half of the manga is probably the most I could recommend. Even with the first half, though, like the confinement stuff took up so much time and really didn't really help.
I forgot about that.
And like, I don't know, man.
Author's barely disguised fetish.
And then
I will
like,
say
even
that
if you stop at the end of the half, like it's Rem cheating to like stop
Yeah.
L, and it's like, okay, well, is this how we're gonna end L? Oh, yeah. What were you
Well,
about to say,
Nyan,
Violet?
is as like, oh, author's poorly disguised fetish as it is with the confinement scene and all that, I will say the manga felt less sexualizing than the anime did.
That's surprising.
Considering
Oh
what
my
happens in the manga, that's fucking wild.
Holy shit! I didn't tell you guys about the other interaction that I had with my coworker.
Maybe that should be after.
You're laughing.
One of them was like, wait until Auntie gets to the foot rubbing scene, and I was like, the fucking what?
Oh, that was in the anime ending. That was the anime ending that you didn't get here. or that was a scene in the anime that you didn't get here. And
Yeah,
I was
anime
like,
only
later.
that rubbing scene.
But I think it goes.
Wild thing to say at work. Okay.
This is what with what Violet was saying of like they're like I mean, again, I haven't seen the anime, but that one scene that I did get sent, like, there are wildly different vibes going on.
The anime
between
felt
the manga and the anime.
more. I almost want to say more objectifying at times with the female characters than the manga did. And like a little more intense at times. Like in that first chapter, I want to say, where Light first tests out the Death Note and he like kills the guy on the motorcycle who was chasing after the woman. I don't remember exactly, but I feel like it was like a lot more Like, he was harassing her, but I feel like it was, like, almost outright stated in the anime that he was going to, like, assault her. I feel like the anime just had, like, a couple more scenes, like, drawing that sort of thing out.
Yeah, it is a different vibe reading someone's internal like misogynist thoughts versus hearing those misogynist thoughts be like voice acted. It's like a different vibe because they're like you could feel his hatred of women in the voice acting. Okay.
So Death Note, the audiobook.
Oh. Voiced by Ohba himself. Imagine.
Ohba would.
I don't think I want to.
Ohba would never.
You sound like you're about to cry there, Han. What happened?
I miss L. Okay.
We had to read Death Note.
I miss L. I keep thinking this whole second half I'm just like, where's L? This vibe is not it. Nate River is Nier's real name, by the way. We didn't go over it, but Nate River is their name. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Fuck your name, okay? Where's L? Where's L? I miss L.
You know what? Honestly, you maybe could have done like L's there the whole time, and then like Mello gets involved halfway. Like maybe that could work.
Maybe. I'm just like. Elle at least knew the proper way to approach a person like Light, and like you understand he's a person who can't help. He can't help it. He has to try to win. You can abuse that and like take advantage of his egotism, his like his emotional responses or whatever. Like you take advantage of that. Nier didn't really bother much with that. He was just like, I'm just gonna get him to accidentally reveal that he's Kira by like basically admitting that he's won, and then I'll have the names written down in the notebook. His name won't be written, which means it'll be Kira. I'm just gonna do a little trick with that. We're not gonna like be smarter about like deceiving Light himself like directly, emotionally or whatever, which is I think a disappointing aspect of that. I don't know. And I'm just like, the whole time, I'm just like, I miss the vibe that L brought to all of the scenes to make it more tense. So, yeah, I don't know. It's missing L. L was a crucial part of this. I miss it. And you don't get the foot rubbing scene in the manga. And you don't get more tennis scenes too. Where's the tennis scenes? Only get the one. That happens. All right. Was there any other thoughts or topics of discussion that we had to have before we wrap this up? Or was there, I guess I should also ask, was there anybody else who would still recommend Death Note in any way?
Hey, Ari, can you do the cricket noise soundboard for me, please?
You could have asked me.
Wait. Chap, can you repeat your question?
Hey, so would anybody else here recommend Death Note, the manga, other than, like, me for the first half, I guess?
Get you the kind of woman that will actually kill you. Not now.
That wasn't me. Shadow, why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Shadow, was that said in a misogynist way or a non-misogynist
Hey,
way?
listen. It doesn't matter how misogynist Light was in the end.
Is that the Cowboy Bebop meme?
Yes.
Yeah.
You really need to clip farm your friends for blackmail more.
It was eventually passed on to Shadow, and then Shadow basically said it. Despite how misogynist Light was, okay, still in the end, you get the last shot being a female Kira worshiper surrounded by everybody else. What did Tsugumi Ohba mean by this? What did we mean by this?
What did he mean by this?
What did they mean by this? I guess we'll never know. All right. I think that's it. Cool. Well, that was Death Note, the manga. Our overall scores tallied up from everybody here was that it was given a 4.5 out of 10. I don't know how that compares to our other stuff. Maybe we'll check that in the future. Maybe we should keep a log of that for the future. I don't know. But that's it for Death Note. We have finally gone through, and in the end, You never go to heaven nor hell if you use the death notes. You just go to the nothingness. And this is where
everyone else
didn't even
doesn't
matter.
use the death note.
Yeah, and this is what has happened. This is the end of Death Note. There is some side stuff. The side stories that Andy read. There is also Death Note, Another Note, which, as I mentioned in the past, is a light novel, 1-volume light novel written by the Monogatari author, which is a prequel case with L and the FBI lady, Naomi, I think was her name, Ray Penberg's wife there. So it's a prequel case. I don't think it has to do, if I recall correctly, I don't think it had to do with Death Note at all. It was just a prior case that they worked together that was also just a different mystery. I would recommend that. I won't talk too much about it for spoiler reasons, but it was very interesting, and I like the Monogatari author and how they write, and it's a pretty quick read too. There is a bunch of other works that they have done for like side books and stuff too, I think, for Death Note stuff, which I guess you could also check out if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff. Maybe it's more interesting than how the main story went down at times. I don't know. And there is, of course, also several live-action adaptations, one of which we will eventually watch in the server. We're gonna have to watch the Netflix Death Note after we watch the anime eventually. So that's gonna be interesting. But right now we're working through Sailor Moon R. Once we're done with Sailor Moon R, then we'll watch the Death Note anime, and then we'll watch live action Netflix Note, whatever it was called, which is such a movie. Okay. it's if you think the writing for this was bad, wait till you see that. Okay. Listen,
wait till you see Light Turner.
Light Turner. I think that's what I called the one goofy emote that I've had of him in the server. Light Turner is what I named this one emote of light that I have in here. So, all right, but that is Death Note. Next week we're taking a break because we take a break after the long series or whatever. But after the break, the week after, is when we start reading and discussing Monster, the manga. That is this is the next, the last of the already predetermined series that we're going to be reading. So we're going to read all of Monster. How many volumes is Monster again? Let me look this up. I forgot to look this up beforehand. Monster, this will be the second work by Urasawa that we'll be reading together. We read Pluto together, and this is Monster. This is one of his more popular works. And it is, I'm looking at the anime. I was going to say 74 volumes. No way, it's 18 volumes. Monster's 18 volumes. So that'll take us through to the end of the year, I believe, or close to the end of the year. After Monster, we got to start doing more votes. Before we get into voting for a longer series, we're going to probably have a period of like shorts and or one-offs like we did before. I think that's what we're going to have happen next after Monster. So we'll determine how we're going to go through that process closer to then. So yeah, the next series we'll be reading is Monster, 2 volumes a week as usual, every Thursday night here on YouTube and Twitch and eventually Spotify. If you're somebody who's interested in that or future readings together, you can follow us on twitch.wolfborg.com, youtube.wolfborg.com, and you can join book club directly by going to discord.wolfborg.com, joining the Discord server, grabbing yourself the Anime Book Club role, and then hanging out with us in the text channels related to all of that. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming as usual, and thank you so much for reading through all of Death Note. We're done with Death Note. Now we can finally move on. Now we can check out Monster in 2 weeks. But in the meantime, we'll be watching through more episodes of Sailor Moon R. I'm probably going to try to do something in the future for the fact that, like, every other week or so, I may have to miss Sundays to go to Mahjong stuff. So I may have to move, like, how we do the viewings, but for this Sunday we can do more Sailor Moon R. So this Sunday in the Discord we can do more Sailor Moon R. Tomorrow I do not have game night, so I might stream something. Might be Of the Devil or
Of the Devil.
I can either do Of the Devil Friday or Saturday or both, but probably the next time will be the end of the Devil episode 2. So we'll do that Friday, and then I'll probably do something else Saturday. That'll be the plan. Aztec, were you gonna say something?
Finally, Kirby Superstar time.
Say, just invite everybody you play Mahjong with, join us for watching shit.
That's true. Well, it's in-person Mahjong. You gotta be in person for that Mahjong. Everybody, to come over to Boston, the Boston area, and come play Mahjong, okay? I'm to Boston. The Boston Book Club with Mahjong on occasion.
Yes.
All right. I think that's it. So Friday I'll probably do Of the Devil, and then Saturday I'll probably do some other random SNES game. Not the Kirby one yet, Shadow. It's probably gonna be some shorter one that I can get done in like one day. Is what I probably want to do.
You get your Superstar done one day.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to get a solo random other thing done on a day. Okay, we'll do your collab thing later. Don't worry. We'll still do the collab. Don't worry. I just want to do something else in between. I think. Okay. I want to take a break. Okay. All right. And that, I think, is it. So we're going to raid out, and then I will see you guys next time. Let's see who is online to raid today. Oh, wow.
Want to go ahead and head off?
All right.
Good reading.
Thanks for hanging. My stream. We're going to go raid into... we'll raid into Corpse, who is streaming Elden Ring. Goodbye, stream. Bye.
Bye, stream. Bye, stream. Bye, stream. Bye. Bye, stream.
Wow. Wow. It's not letting me raid yet.